the outgoing Weah regime and his gang. We look forward to a very prospective, positive 2024.
Should demands an official position of Mr. Bouaka on the welfare and deplorable state of affairs of the University of Liberia and calls for immediate action toward the legislation of the free tuition policy. Education is a fundamental right that should be non-negotiable and accessible to all, regardless of socio-economic status. The implementation of a free tuition policy will not only alleviate the financial burden on students and their families, but will also promote equal opportunities for the academic advancement. The Studentification Party called on Mr. Bouaka to, with immediate effect, make his asset known to the public or be prepared to write the first public exam to be administered by the Vanguard Studentification Party, Principal Street of Monrovia. The declaration without publication undermines the spirit of transparency and accountability and signals business as usual. If the government of Mr. Bouaka thinks we are joking, let them test the resolve of the Studentification Party by not publishing their assets.
Yeah, my communication will be on the floor. Hopefully on Tuesday or Thursday, we're going to impeach President Bouaka. President Bouaka has convinced us in 1 month that he cannot steer the affairs of this country. So we are already working with our lawyers. As soon as possible today, we're going to be working on that all day. Hopefully tomorrow it should be on the floor. If not there tomorrow, the impeachment of the president will be on the floor on Thursday by God's grace. So we're going to make sure that we impeach President Bouaka. President Bouaka has shown to us in 1 month that he cannot manage this country. See what has happened 2 times. The president has not represented Liberia or Liberia. We have our other African presidents now who just went over the weekend. We have a serious issue around the region that is going on. And presidents have gone to make decisions about our region. Our president is not there again. A few days ago, the president also sent the foreign affairs minister to go and represent Liberia. What is happening? In Armed Forces Day, the president could not go to have this program. There are a lot of things happening. There are a lot of breach of issues. They are breaking the law in just many places, just making a lot of phony appointments. The president just made an open statement that they should generally audit the the Central Bank of Liberia. Yes.
We are calling for an independent forensic investigation to establish the authenticity of what occurred on that fateful day of February 29, and also demanding the government of Liberia to facilitate the conduct of an independent autopsy on the 2 dead bodies of Issa Masale and Abraham Kekula that are yet to be buried. We are also calling the attention of the international community through their embassies or diplomatic missions located near Monrovia to pay keen attention to the deadly situation which occurred in King George, Grand Cape, County. Peaceful citizens' lives were lost, and some were brutally manhandled.
It's a widespread constitutional democratic assembly and protest of Liberians across the country. The protests are cut across almost every major city.
We saw some towns, areas.
Almost every major city across the country, every major intersection, for example, across the country. So we've been very clear about that. A group in Monrovia will move on to the various functionaries of government, the executive mansion, the Capitol building, to petition our leaders as per what the Constitution of Liberia says. Our other people will also petition from local government officials in the various counties. So it's a widespread national protest, well calculated and organized.
So when you put me at the helm of Liberia, then people start saying, look at the story of Liberia, like people talking Rwanda today. But right now, don't lift your hope too high. Things will get nasty, things will get dirty, because nothing's going to change. Even if you made Jesus Christ Minister of Finance,
a noisy country, a very noisy country, rowdy country, a heavily divided country, a very tough economy, a sense of elitism by those who are coming at the helm of authority. The coming in of the Unity Party is going to multiply the economic woes, the economic conundrum, the economic quagmire, the suffering of the Liberian people is going to multiply. We are not prophets of doom, but the reality will come in.
Don't trouble nothing too much, you know. Missing you. 7, 8, 9. I want you back. Here within my arms again. Long time no see. Out your love, I'm lonely. I miss you. And it's too hard to bear. What have you done to me? I'm waking up in the middle of the night without you. And it's so unfair. I toss and turn, reach for you, only my pillows. Soon I wake, the morning sun rises, but I'm alone. Hurts me so. 1, 2, 3, I'm loving you. 4, 5, 6, I'm missing you. 7, 8, 9, I want you back. 1, 2, 3, I love you. 4, 5, 6, I'm missing you. 7, 8, 9, I want you back. Here within my arms again. It shows on my face, the evidence is right here. My smile has been erased, can't you tell? No appetite, my food has no taste. I'm losing weight.
And we got the appetite for it. That is the reason we are on from Monday to Friday, defying all natural and artificial odds to be at your disposal as we are presently.
Girl, and I firmly believe.
Certainly, we believe in what we do. Unequivocal we are with the reality.
And like a child, I would say it's so easy to you.
1, 2, 3.
I love you.
4, 5, 6.
I miss you.
7, 8, 9.
I want you back.
And so we are.
1, 2, 3. I love you. 4, 5, 6. I'm missing you. 7, 8, 9. I want you back.
So let me say thank you so very kindly that you join us for the show Bits and Pieces on Voice of Liberia 104.1 Monrovia, Voice of Liberia 89.7 Kakata Magibi County, and 90.7 Bon County. The online radio in which you can follow the show from wherever you are around the world. www.voiceofliberiaradio.com. My name is Sam Andrews. Edwin Mervyn Joa is in. Patrick Sarr technically is on the camera. Together we serve you from now till 5:50.
What have you done to me? I'm waking up in the middle of the night without you. And it's so unfair. 1, 2, 3, I'm loving you. 4, 5, 6, I'm missing you. 7, 8, 9, I want you back. 1, 2, 3, I'm loving you. 4, 5, 6, I'm missing you. 7, 8, 9, I want you back. Here within my arms again.
Okay, as it is the custom of the show, let's move straight to recognize you as you have come on because time is of the essence. But just so you know, before we do that, at 4 o'clock, draw who we've got coming in.
At 4 o'clock, we will be playing host to Representative Sempi Jalai and of District 3, Swamaka District in Bomi County.
So he's in to talk all things the legislature and his county. You don't want to miss such a discussion. It's going to be fascinating and fire-burn. So that will be at 4 o'clock on the dot. And then, let's see, those of you who have come on as quickly as we can, because we've got Couple of things to talk about, but they are very essential, not many. So, Asata O'Dawson, you've come on from Maryland, the United States of America. Thank you so very kindly that you come on. Who else after Asata Dawson? Who else? There's Gruyalo February Mountain, and you are following from Douala General Market. Papi Keita, CDC Pape, you've come on from Dupo Road. Solo Wat Corsia, you are following from New Georgia. Your comfort zone, Gardnersville, New Georgia Estate. And you are asking how was my weekend. Yeah, it was great. Thank God Almighty, He hovers all through, and He's still hovering. I hope that you had a wonderful time too. Solo Wat Corsia, and thank you so very kindly for the concern. My dear Southeast sister is on. We're inspired by your presence. Thank you ever so much that you've come on. Duarte from Minnesota, the United States of America. We're still celebrating. The cup will never leave the Southeast, not soon. Maybe it'll be the next 10 or 15 years before it leaves the Southeast. So thank you so very much, Duarte, for coming on. And what the people can say, Happy Mother's Day. At least I saw the celebration in the church coupled with a couple of photos. Thank you ever so much that you continue to be in the presence of God. Stephen A. Batts, you've come on from Senegal. Where are you following from? Thank you so much. Elijah Ria Sapo Guy. You are following, but you didn't say, but I just indicated the show name, Bits and Pieces. Thank you. All right, who else? Solomon Kuyebi, you've come on from Old Road, Divine Time. Started to remember Moses Lake. You've come on. You are joining from 12th Street, Sinker. Okay. So you usually follow from out of town, but now you are in town. And Yomotro Kringa, one of our statutory members. That's good. It's been a while now, but I know exactly you've been engaged with a couple of things. So let me say congratulations again to you, Yomotro Kringa, and thank you that you're back on the show. Okay, who else? Mark James, you've come on. You said from where you are following, Ganta City, Nima County. And Charles D. Gray, you've come on from your campus, Elfie Sinker. Solomon Moses, you're following from Grand Bassa County. James S. Kelly, you are following from Virginia, the United States of America. Solomon N. Gayu, you've come on from Jamaica Road. Jusu Tamba, you are following from Lakpasi Zoo. James S. Keller, no, I recognize you. John, it's Hassey. Your last name is spelled H-A-S-S-A-Y. And you come on, you didn't say, but you said, thank you for the informative platform. Jackson Pony of Iron Factory Block C, thank you so much that you've come on. Jackson Pony, hope that you are faring well in Iron Factory Block C. Thank you so much. And you are also a statutory member of Block 13. Amara M. Ducle, you've come on too from Rallytown Market. Mohammed Keita, you are following from your block 104 in Fiama. The country also get inundated with codes. Jackson Pony area is block 13. And then Solo Mohammed Keita said their block is 104 in Fiama, block 104. That's good. That's fine. Who else? Jimmy Django Jacko, you're following from Morrow County, New Jersey. Mohammed Keita, J. Campbell Yanti, you come on from Upper Cornwall. Tanu Jala, you are following from Minnesota. J. Desire Dolo Jr., you've come on from Bond County. Happiness Nice, you say where you are following from. Your writing is too long, can't run through to identify where you're following from. Sorry. Juja One, where you come on from Johnsonville, Marcos M. Camara. You are following from New Delhi, India. Christine Talbot, you've come on from Pinsville City. Monyu Talu, you are following from the United States. That there's more Nets. You've come on from there. Kenneth K, your last name is K-A-Y. And you come on from, what you say? Braby City? Or it's not too clear yet. All right. Mary Johnson, thank you for coming on. You are following from Atlanta, Georgia. And you said you are asking, we had a pleasure, that you people had a pleasure of being in the company of the president, Joseph Yeman Boakai. Okay, that's good. It's always good. It is a great honor, and it raises your fame, your morale, when you are in the presence of the celebrity. All right. So, Dram, before we get to the issue, you want to tell the people of our guests again, as quickly as we can. Time is of the essence.
Okay, so like I said, we will be hosting Representative Sam P. Jalai of District 3 in Bombing County. So at 4 o'clock, he will be coming on. And there is this report from Margibi County involving a Liberian and the Fulanins fighting over a land in Margibi County. It's been alleged that the Fulani sent some PSU officers, he paid some PSU officers, and they went and destroyed the man's house and spoiled his man's grave and all in Margibi there. So we'll be talking anytime soon with our Margibi branch manager, Ramsey Singbe, and Ramsey will be able to fill us in with detail of the issue in Kakata, Margibi County.
Okay, so let's move on to the first issue. We've got no time to do that as quickly as we can. We've got no time. So here is it. The president needs to do a somersault. It is compulsory that the president do a somersault on his previous statements. Mm-hmm. If ever was the time to do that, now is the time, and it's more reasonable because not too late yet. He has several years ahead of him. It's not too late. He can do that. So he will have to somersault on that.
Ramsey, hold on small, just small. I will get back to you, just small.
He will have to somersault on that. It's bad. The president can go that route. Almost everything he's saying, he's running contrary to it. Now his own people are turning against him. His own people are turning against him. Now this is where the problem starts. When you have your own people turning against you for what you said and you cannot do, it puts you in a difficult position, and gradually you start losing ground. This is not to say that he's going to lose the presidency, but it means the kind of respect and support that you ought to get. Already some of the guys are feeling weak. Americone, who did the mathematics and brought him to power, but most part of that came from Nema County, but Americone was the statistician in the room. He did the number. He helped them. Had it not been for Americone doing the numbers, Unity Party would not have won. Americone will express series of reservations about how things going. So he's not fully involved. He's more concerned about his legislative work. One of the persons who was also critical and boastful, on the other hand, that everything was going to be all right, is Senator Dillon. Now Senator Dillon is having a second thought about the president. He made a very strong damning statement against the president that you not expect coming from a senator who supports the current government. And it's all because, according to Senator Dillon, he made a promise, a vow to publish, and he hasn't. Now it is sending a bad feedback or a negative feedback. In essence, his argument is the president has empowered the opposition to weaponize him And now his act is purely unreasonable. Have a listen to the senator ranting or blasting his own president.
The president has not published his asset. The president and our campaign on very disappointing that the president has not published his asset. The disappointing that the president has not published his asset. The disappointing that the president has not published his asset. The very disappointing that the president has not published his asset. The president and our campaign on the platform together across Monterey County, and we committed to the people that whether there's law or not, we not only declare our asset because I have laid the platform as a public official. I'm the first public official who declare my asset, especially under the weird government, and publish it outside the law because I had nothing to hide. President Bwaka, as candidate Bwaka and the rescue mission, we campaigned that would be different. Whether the law say it or not, we will display honesty and sincerity. I'm disappointed, and it's almost, we're going to May, 5 months. The president has not published his asset. I'm disappointed. I am vehemently disappointed. When you fail to do something as the leader, your subjects won't do it. They don't feel compelled. They hide on you. Your failure to do so. The president is losing the moral standing, even if the law does not allow it. The president is losing your failure to do so. The president is losing the moral standing. Even the president is losing the moral standing, even if the law does not allow it. The president is losing the moral standing, even if the law does not allow it. The president is losing the moral standing, even if the law does not allow it. The president is losing the moral standing. The president is losing the moral standing. The president is losing the moral standing, even if the law does not allow it. The president is losing the moral standing.
Definitely. Yeah, because the president wouldn't want to move by difference. Now, what is so difficult in there? What is so hard in there? What there to hide? What there to protect? What there to shield? Nothing. If you acquire everything in a in a legitimate way, you wouldn't want to people lambast you, pressurizing you, because everything starts with the leader. It starts with the leader. It doesn't say because you are the president, therefore everything should be shielded, or you aren't answerable to the people. Instead, you should be instructing people to go public with what the law says. The code of conduct is clear. The code of conduct did not exempt the president. The president isn't exempt from declaring. The president made it clear. The president made it clear that he was going to declare his asset. He made it clear through his press secretary, Kula Fofana. Kula made it clear. She said the president would declare his assets. The president would make it public. And even though she was not definitive in terms of the time, but she was very clear on that the president was going to make it public. So the rest of the guys, even though not all, Dillon declared his, some of the people didn't declare, I mean the senators and representatives, but Dillon is uncomfortable because the president is the leader. I'm trying to get Kula Fofana. Let's see.
Confirms China's support to Liberia and have talked about the elevation or the restarting of some of those. President Xi was able to do a letter to the president to project will continue.
Okay, I will get that. I will get that when she made it clear, she was very clear that the president was going to declare his asset. He was not declare, but rather to publish it. It is Dillon's argument. Publish, a lot of people know. It's as simple to understand, nothing there to hide. The only reason why you don't want to declare, or one would not want to declare, is because probably the acquisition will be questioned. And in this country, nobody questions a person's acquisition. So nobody does that. LACC doesn't go beyond that. LACC just go through a verification, and verification, as per my understanding, it simply means to look at the papers and see. Once the person goes through all of the papers as per their stuff, they're okay with it, and then they just put them together and give or file it rather. So there's nothing. I can go and declare my assets, but if you want to make it public, and if you announced that it should be made public, then you ought to do it. That's how it goes. Because it becomes a covenant now. You can withdraw from it. If you didn't say you will make it public, fine. But once you said you will make it public, you will publish it, you will put it in the newspapers, the radio stations will read it, they will have copy. Just as we read Musa Bility, Senator Dillon, Senator Yombli Kanga Lawrence Pro Tem, and the other senators and representatives, Amin Modab, the Commerce Minister, we read their documents here we went through. And what happened? They finished. Nobody will say Dillon, Amin Modab, Senator Yombli Kanga Lawrence Pro Tem, Senator Jonathan Borchai Sogbe, and the rest of the people did not declare their assets. The reason Senator Dillon is standing on a moral ground because he declared his, and the president did make it public that he was going to declare. Rather to make it public, why hasn't he? So it is Dillon's argument that he was going to, that he ought to, it was Dillon's argument. Let's have your say on this, right? Then we'll move to the cracking of the economic freedom fighter, not economic freedom, but the assets recovery team. It's incomplete status, people. It's incomplete status. It is, it's hanging. You understand the expression called, the children can say small kikini. Small kikini. That what the
small kini.
Yeah, that what the assets recovery team is hanging on. Everything around the assets recovery team is down. Now, one of the top brass, but anyway, that will be the second point. Let's just share his thoughts on this assets recovery of the president, not assets, but assets declaration. And then we'll move to the assets recovery team. And then we get ready to face the representative.
Okay, Sam, it's quite incredible, and it's good to listen to some of the lapses made by the president. And when we are discussing them, people are glued, and they want to understand as to how the president is miscalculating, how the president is misstepping the presidency of our country. The presidency of Joseph Boakai is becoming unpopular day by day. You know, when the president took on office January 22nd, you had a lot of people having fear for this government. A lot of people, wouldn't want to do anything fishy. They were not good about recommending or appointing because they don't want any stigma in time to come, because they all felt that President Boakai administration was going to be that harsh. We felt that President Boakai administration was brought to bulk of the healing agendas in ministry and agencies. And we felt that President Boakai would have done the real deal that we feel that people been using or doing to strangulate the resources of our country. But President Boakai is of no difference to all other presidents who have taken on the presidency of our country. For instance, the president took on, the first thing we started thinking on was corruption. We said, oh, the president is coming on, and he had framed out corruption earlier. They had Labans, the administration of former President George Weah. So that means if anyone corrupting his administration, they will be there with. This is what got the oppositions getting brave on President Boakai government. The money that was allotted for the inauguration, the remaining one was never accounted for. Opposition grabbed that one and said, oh, but the same thing we felt we did, and the man said we did not do anything and we were in the wrong. This is the same thing he has come on to do. They did not give account of the remaining money. That was the first thing the opposition hung on. Another one has to do with his failure to have organized the Armed Forces Day celebration. He said, oh, but they make him the house of the better Armed Forces. So that means that the administration we go. The opposition hang on that one. The OAU meetings, they had the African, states to have gone there to address. He did not go there. again. They say, oh, the opposition say, oh, but winner. Though former president, we had lapses, we consider him by then not to have been educated or competent for the presidency, and that we saw him, appearing on behalf of Liberia or representing Liberia on many occasions, despite his output was not that, eloquent, people would say, but he was always there. But now President Bouaka has now gone for, several other programs on behalf of Liberia. So opposition grabbed that again and start get brave on the government of the Republic of Liberia under the watch of President Joseph Bouaka. So with all of those, plus many others, opposition has getting brave on President Joseph Bouaka government, and President Bouaka government will find it difficult in the hands of the opposition because they will always critique his workings. We saw that former President Weah used to take delegates from here and carry them in outside work to represent Liberia. He was heavily criticized that he carried huge delegates to squander or spoil the resources of our country. We see similar to President Bouaka government again. They were going for the Africa Business Summit. The number of people they posted that they were carrying, not the number of people they carried. They carried more than the number they posted. So it means that they see all things former President Weah was doing, and your frame at him, you said he was not the real man. In fact, all the things he were doing were against our people. Now you have taken on. So there is no much difference in this government that you think you can praise this government over the foreign government. Because the thing here is, you prefer a government over another one because you think that this government will bring in the needed change. But what is the change? They're following the same old path. So President Bouaka, let me be real, right? It's just like, when a new father take on the home, you will see that all of the stepchildren will be skeptical. They want to come home soon because they don't know the will of the president. So because of that, they will have to be careful how they go about drawing water. Everybody will be punctual in the first 1 week. But when they see that the father will come home 11 o'clock, the son will be timing the father, saying the father can come home 11 o'clock, the son won't come home 10:55. That's what happened now with the former ruling establishment and that of this current establishment. So nothing serious you'll see that, this president will do that you think opposition will even hail him for. The only thing the opposition has hailed this government for is the signing of the World and Economic Crime Code, and that is, it appears to be a witch hunt against Senator Prince Johnson, because Senator Prince Johnson in 2017 supported former President George Weah, and 2023 went against George Weah and supported President Bouaka. So because of this, former President George Weah protected Senator Prince Johnson of not establishing or signing the War Crime Code issue. That means he had a very good relationship with Senator Prince Johnson, but because Senator Prince Johnson left from behind former President George Weah and went behind then Kennedy Joe Bouaka, and Bouaka has gone signing the War and Economic Crime Code in the country, it get the opposition hailing him for that. So that means he appears to be Prince Johnson saying you don't know what good for you. The people who you supported claiming to be the best president over George Weah, who protected you for the past 6 years, and this is where now you are trapped. So the opposition started hailing President Joseph Bouaka just because of that from that other aspect. And so they will continue to get brave on the government.
The president will have to do the most honorable thing as the leader who everyone looks up to. He is on an obligation. It's not an option. I side with Senator DeLong. He needs to publish it. Henceforth, if the president cannot publish his assets, you ministers should not. And he will have no moral ground to insist that you're published. Because they say everything starts from the head. And they say where the fish gets rotting from the head. The fish gets rotting from the head. It doesn't start getting rotting from the tail. From the tail. From the head.
The brain is in the head.
So,
and the brain is one of the components that get rotting very quicker.
So he has to do the needful, as they usually say in Liberian politics. he has to do the needful. If he can, then the rest of the people who are reneging, they are right to renege. The president has to do it, whether he likes it or not. That's what he said to the people. That's what it borders is part of transparency, fairness, and accountability, trust. All in what Bwaga said, everything. So he has to make it clear by publishing his assets, his own senator. And this senator in Darius Dillon was very bitter against President Weah, even though people don't like to, but it is not possible to talk without referencing the past. Though the current government don't want people to reference the past, but it doesn't make sense, it is not possible. The fact that they created the past, so we have to reference it because once they created the past, they was very critical of the former regime. So that's what is referred to as precedents. So they set the precedents, now we're using the precedents moving forward. He was very bitter, very critical of former President George Weah. He will go further to refer to the former president and his people as a gang. And they are now happy that they've relieved the country of Weah, his gang, and ineptitude.
We give God a glory for the difference of the rescue mission to rescue this country from the hands of the outgoing Weah regime and his gang. We look forward to a very prospective, positive 2024. We give God a glory for the difference of the rescue mission to rescue this country from the hands of the outgoing Weah regime and his gang. We look forward to a very prospective, positive 2024.
So he was very critical. This is one of 500 voices I have of Senator Darius Dillon. Majority of them, he was very critical, very insultive, very bitter, very personal against President George Weah. And he said, after President Bwaga took the presidency, Senator Dillon said he was going to be robust in the legislature. Don't ask me for that, I have it. I try my best I can to recall every public official because that is evidential. So now he is showing that robust move, and he's right. The president will have to listen to him and others who are calling. He has to. The president must publish his assets. Otherwise, than that, the rest of the people who have not should not make the attempt. And let's see whether the president will insist. The president, the code of conduct covers the president. The president is within that provision of the code of conduct that calls for public officials or officials appointed declaring their assets before they take office. The actual thing here technically is you must declare your assets before you take office. That means when you declare it to the LHCC, you give the people nothing. You show them no paper. Don't go to that place and play any takeover ceremony because you yet clean. The only thing that will get you, that will make you clean and give you the right to go over there and do a takeover is when you shall have declared your assets. The president didn't declare his assets. He took office. So the rest of the people till now, he can't publish it. Nobody forced the president. He said that he was going to publish it. And what the people can say, every statement from the president is a policy statement. It becomes binding. It becomes binding. He has to. So if President Bwaga can publish his assets, the rest of you who have not done as public officials, you don't publish yours. And your reliance or justification for not publishing yours will be the president did not publish his. And he can dismiss yours. You know why? He will not. Why it is true that the Constitution gives the Liberian president that imperial power, but then it will be known that the president is dismissing because he did not declare his assets, insists that the other people should declare, therefore he's moving. So if President Bwaga make public his assets, he declare it, you don't declare too. Everything starts from the head. He has to lead by example. He's the president. He's our president. He's the chief administrator. All of us look up to him. So why can't he? How is he directing us? How is he directing us? The drum major is the one who directs the troop. So if the drum major showing one sign and doing another sign and expect the troop to follow, what's that? That whole drill will be distorted. And that's how it is looking right now. Everything is distorted. You heard the expression DeLon used? Listen to DeLon's expression. Okay. That will be doing it for that. Let's move to the assets recovery that is sinking just like the Titanic ship that sunk gradually. Everything is going haywire. The reason for that, and this is the reality, you can't question it. We saw it. From the very first day the president released the list, I said that composition wasn't right. And my criticism started with the head, because the little information that I have on Edwin Martin and my observation says nothing in terms of landmark development. Being a lawyer, going to represent clients in court, setting up a law firm, doing one or two things, having association with the power that be, and then you are appointed. It doesn't say. It doesn't say that those are landmark stuff. Landmark is what you do, what is unprecedented, the record that you set, the difference that you make. In addition, I said Edwin Martin was just one of the rhetoricians. And you saw that. He will make wise statements. He will sit in front of the president after showering flattery on the president or flattering the president. He went to say that they have lists and areas where government assets are, and they gave those people 10 days. If they can, they will move on them. When the 10 days expire, they went in the street, indiscriminately infringing on the rights of people, their own citizens say they're recovering. Emmanuel Gongwe was the spokesperson on that day, right? Now Emmanuel Gongwe has stepped down from the assets recovery team. Not only that, Martin Colley, who also was very bitter against the regime of former President George Weah, saw the regime as not only inept but was corrupt to the core, has come to say that the assets recovery team will have to give account of all the monies they receive. Over 300,000 was used to lease or rent a place. Moreover, 211,000 again was used for staff and other activities. Today, what did Martin Colley say? Martin Colley said they can be inside, they criticizing, they too will have to be outside and speak exactly the truth. So the assets recovery team, I don't think it's going to exist beyond this point. I don't want to believe that it will exist beyond this point. Emmanuel Gongwe will stand down. Now Martin Colley, it's very likely that Martin Colley, it will not be a surprise if Martin Colley stands down. It will not be a surprise. Hear what he said. We cannot just lash out at corruption when we are outside. We must lash out at it even when we are inside. Remaining quiet about it when we are inside is pharisaical. That's what he said. And then he started to release a number of write-outs on questioning how the money was used. And the other members of the team, they are uncomfortable. Maybe today or tomorrow you might hear one or two persons standing down from the assets recovery team. So the president assets recovery thing is a failure, a fiasco. It was better he didn't constitute any.
But the first thing is that the assets recovery thing lost almost all of the cases they tried venturing into.
Yeah, everything.
The race issue of Sulu, you know, Patrick Sulu, the race issue of Patrick.
No, don't make it fun for the people say they lost everything. I say almost. Say almost. I mean, they won some.
Yeah, they lost all.
Yeah.
So the race issue with Sulu, they lost with Sulu. You know, the race issue with Gracious Ra, they lost it with Gracious Ra again. But later we saw Martin Kelly posting, you know, that the Gracious Ra was being given, you know, an ordinator, you know, to bring the legitimate receipt for those cars. And up to current, we have not heard from him as to whether Gracious Ra has brought in the receipt to legitimize their claim on the various cars. But we see Gracious Ra plying the street all over Monrovia, and they are carrying their normal activity. So it means that Martin lied to as well. So, but they got to be serious on the overall thing. They got to be serious. Governing process is different from campaigning process. The time you talk to campaign, you can do all of the sugar coating, and when you take on, that's the time you will have to implement those things you said your opposition or your predecessor did not do well or was not doing well. It will be a time where you have to implement them. So the expectation of the citizen, not only Liberia, right? The expectation of every nation will be high given the nature of how the new government, you know, took on. Because if the previous government was leading and people came in and heavily criticized that government and said the president was not doing this, so because of that, the president was incompetent, the president was no more in the position to continue the developmental agenda of that country, and the president was being removed. So people who criticized that administration and got the administration out, we consider them to be the administration that will come to implement everything possible that we will need. So anything on the contrary that you will not do in the interest of the people, it turns your government to be a failure. So that's how President Bouaka government tended to be to the Liberian people. And trust me, not much people now, like I said earlier, not much people will have that regard for this government because, like I told you, when it took on first, you have people getting and building that fear that President Bouaka will persecute. President Bouaka will go for people who have squandered, you know, the country resources, people who have diverted public funds. President Bouaka will go for them. So you saw the opposition, you saw people who worked in previous government. They were very scared, afraid that the government that has taken on, the government going to set a precedent. But as we speak, where is the president? So you see, so it means everybody who will just come, you know, to take on, you know, state power will come and lie, come cajole everything and tell you the president who is in position is not worth of the position. And when you give them the position, they still follow the path of the previous president. So where are we driving now? So no policies, no new policies in the making, or we just do these things because we have come to enrich ourselves. So if there be a policy maker, what is the policy maker of the Unity Party now? Let them bring the policy they think they have come on that they will try to propose to us as citizens. We will understand exactly what have they come to take on, you know, to do or implement within the country. So no policy. So they started the same old template, like Sam was saying. They got the same template. So nothing screen, nothing new.
The president composition was the dissolution of the assets recovery team, though it exists in the minds of people, but it is it has been dissolved. It has been dissolved. Now, the president faces a serious headache. The person or persons who advise him or send forth those names to him misled him. The president himself wasn't meticulous enough to sit down and go through the names of these individuals one by one. They meant, how will you put and you expect that the country will accept and work with them when all of them were making statements against the former regime and former president, and you are aware, Emmanuel Gonkwe will go on to say those on sanctions for corruption should be prosecuted. We can't and must not live with corruption in Liberia. Corruption is a virus. He goes further to say, the CDC folks are interesting. They can't believe their eyes. Congratulations, JMB. That's such person you will appoint. CDC is creating violence all over the country, and it's too sad. Stop this madness. Liberia is all we have. Breaking news. The police is trying to arrest the EFL members in Lofa. George, we are police. What's the next one? He said, there's another one he posted here, very strong. Just running through some of them, and then we leave it. He said, fighters of EFFL will go grain tomorrow to honor the rescue mission caller. Vote 1, and you appoint such person, and you expect. Then it says, Freedom FM, referring to one of the radio stations they perceived as pro-government. He said, Freedom FM, we will not stop until GMB is elected as president. You will soon turn out to be gospel song station. So, when you go to the other people here, when you go to maybe I get anything on Clap Martin in terms of political statement, but I have legal statements on here, I have the audio here. When you go to the other people tomorrow, I'll bring the other people, will be giving you the expressions they use. What I'm simply saying, the president was not far-sighted enough. In a campaign, you can have these people who were combative against the former regime, then you appoint them
to go and prosecute people in the former
then
regime.
It means the president sanctioned it, he approved it. That's what it implies. You know, you saw, you read, you heard these people making dreadful, intimidating political statements against the former regime, threatening that we'll go after them. As soon as JMB takes over, go after them. Then JMB appointed the same people. So it means that it was orchestrated by JMB. He knows about it and said, well, you're going to do it.
Premeditated. So JMB and all of the EFF, Emmanuel Gonkwe, he applies that all of what Emmanuel Gonkwe said, and when he's been appointed, he's going directly to work in favor of President Bouaka, not going for.
No, but he resigned and he left.
Yeah, he left. But they all getting shamed now.
You know why he
all,
left?
All of them getting shamed now, Sam.
One of the reasons he left, his institution have been very, very careful in terms of how they go about with the political activity, because their overall boss doesn't settle for these things. Julius Malema. So he tries to be careful so that his reputation is not tarnished. Because if something like this reaches his boss in South Africa, the situation might be different. Probably the relationship might get sour.
So he gets the shame. You know, the thing here is, Liberia, this is our country, and we will continue.
So you see now, the people just released this one. They call them, that's a women group. How to call them? National Civil Society Council of Liberia. They are calling for a full investigation now into the money. They quoting Martin Colley. They quoting Martin Colley. So they are calling, they say they want a full investigation into it. The National Civil Society Council of Liberia, a group of civil society women, that they want to know how the money was used. $311,200 United States dollars. A lease agreement to rent an office space for the task force. And it was not even discussed or a unanimous vote or decision taken only by members of the task force. So neither did it go through the Public Procurement and Concession Commission procedure. So you see that? That's what they are saying. They say the crafting of AREPT, that's how they call the Assets Recovery and Budget. To date, some of us, Arabs members, okay, they're quoting him, Arabs members, having seen that physical instrument as though it is society butch. Shouldn't this be discussed and debated by all commissioners of AREPT? The signing of a US $311,200 lease agreement to rent an office for AREPT without even discussing this decision with everyone is a concern. The quoting Martin Colley, this is very concerning. After signing this lease agreement, you sent me a note this evening that a US 50, my more money, 5,200 money deal was reached. So that's not in the short period. You see how much money the assets recovery team. Let's because of course let's see what our guess is even. So that's why you have to be very careful in life. Martin call it shame now. Martin call it shame.
Yeah.
The rest of the people they shame. They really don't know. They didn't see it this coming, but they were too sentimental from the beginning, from the onset. They were too hot.
Too optimistic that there would have been a difference.
Yeah.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, good afternoon, Sam.
Good afternoon. Your name, where you call from?
This is Ulan Harry calling from Captain Papa.
Let's hear you.
Sam, thank you for the program. Sam was saying that Dillon is delayed, that Dillon and will listen to them. They get coming without that whole political rhetoric. So tomorrow election, I think you are seeing it. That the after recovery thing, Sam, the after recovery thing, you said it from the beginning. That was level you when you kept that FN. Oh, when you say that I should wait, so we're not going nowhere. Because Martin was coming with a crush to hunt people down. And President Boga knew it. Look at how President Boga did. He said, when they put a real regime, he said, what they did, he said, kind of money post spend. And now, because it's the reason Martin talking about Martin, now we see a call. Even Gongwe.
Who tell you Martin now receive a call? I mean, I saw you at Denver.
Gongwe was parking the car. He said, we'll park all car. Now he left one there. He said, they know already posting. Suppose they want for corruption now. I didn't you posting it. When you're talking, he said it from the beginning, he said, we're not going nowhere. He said, it always can do. Thank you, God bless you.
Thank you. Hello?
Good afternoon, Joa.
Good afternoon. Your name, where you join us from?
Joa, my name is Aze Wilson, first to be called son of KOK, and I'm joining you guys this afternoon from Electoral District number 14. To be precise, in one of the most developmental and oriented representative districts of our time, Kakula Muga Kamara District. Joa, I want to say thank you to you and Simon Juice for the conversation. I've quite followed since until last night with that conversation when he tried to go down high on the president. But I'm just seeing this as a political game and political goal that Senator Dillon wants to school. Senator Dillon is trying to gain relevance for 2029 election. So these are guys who put into some of these things. When we told them that this man is not capacitated to do some of these things, they did not believe over today. Yeah, Senator Dillon last night on his phone talk, going down high on the president, it's not a plus for Dillon. It's just manners. It's just bring a manners to Dillon and clarify some of the things that some of us been saying in this country.
Thank you. Hello.
Brother Melvin, how you doing?
I'm fine. Your name, where you join us from?
This is Austin Ware from District 13. I purposely call to extend my thanks and appreciation to the first invoice FM for their hard work. All that you are cataloging was shared from the very initial stage of Waka putting together a quote-unquote asset recovery team. I must admit, you guys are working for Liberian people. Look, we don't have to pay for you, but we need to say thanks. And may God bless you guys in Jesus' name. Thank you.
Inshallah. Thank you. 0770-907-907. Call us, have your say on the conversation this afternoon. 0770-907-907. 0770-907-907.
So there where we are, the president will have to do a rethink.
Hello?
Good afternoon, Mother Liberia.
Good afternoon. Your name, where you join us from?
I'm joining you from DC community.
Yes, yeah, you.
Well known as no community. My name is William B. Jabba, coming to a proper province.
Go ahead, William.
My brother we will talk in this country, and for us, we will not get tired until the right thing has been done. You know, you have said it all. People keep lying to us in this country, and we keep subscribing to their lies. You know, everything is happening for our own good, because we'll learn, and the next election upward, Liberia will continue to proceed the right way, because we know 2029 will bring the best person. Thank you for the time.
Thank you. 0770907 Hello?
Good evening, Andrew, and your guest, your colleague, how you doing?
We are fine. Your name and where you join us from?
Yeah, thank you. This is the people's governor, the most talk about district number 10 governor, Adamso Isaac, I joined for my oral resident. You know, it's just laughable. You know, we told people that they after recording thing that the people have was just something to record. After recovery of money, and you know, people were looking in. You see the kind of play where you are going, and you know that down there. So God will bring a real thing to life, and the Liberian people get to know that their mission was not rescue, but was rescue mission. Their rescue mission will get to know the in and out of everything. No, but here's something about no, these goddamn doing president, we are done with two people that they made it here. When you say all the people defending them because they defending government, so they made it to be acting in clean. Now they were all in the answer to the so now we know that you're not supposed to start the group.
Thank you. Hello?
Yeah, hello?
Your name and where you join us from? Let's hear you, Comfort.
I just want to say thank you because this Liberia thing is just anything new. Everybody wants quality on his side. That was the same Baka showing all. He keeps a rescue, but he's shading off. So I just want to say thank you.
Okay, thank you ever so much. That's all the time. Thank you for spicing up. The first live time is of the essence. Our guest is in. You're listening to Bits and Pieces on Voice of Liberia 104.1 Monrovia, Voice of Liberia 89.7, Kakata Magebe County, Voice of Liberia 90.7 Bon County, the online radio in which you can follow the show from wherever you are around the world. www.voiceofliberiaradio.com on this 13th day of May 2024. With me, Sam Andrews and Edwin Dra. Our guest is in. Dra, you can pick it up from there.
Yeah, so earlier we told you that we will be playing host to the representative of District 3 in Bombay County, and he has come to share with us some of his experiences at the legislature, and quote unquote, you know, how the government is being run, and he has come to share with us his perspective on how things are going. Hello, sir. Welcome to Voice of Liberia.
I'm honored. I'm elated to be here. Good afternoon, hello to everyone. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you for coming.
It's an honor.
Yeah. How is Bombay County?
On the overall, say okay. Many of the time, yeah, people say along there is life, there is hope, right?
Along there is life, there is hope.
It is on the basis that we want to say it's okay.
So on the overseeing, we agree. Life will say we are okay, but then with reality, at times, you know, has to do with physical. Maybe it will not appear to be, you know, something we accept to be okay.
Correct.
So how the people in District 3?
And like I said, I will repeat it. On the overall, they are okay. That is something they are into. Some of them, they don't have the power to change it like a match you want, but they are hopes. And that's why some of our own boat to see that the hopes come to reality.
Okay, you appear today. I think today appears to be your first time.
Very first time.
Okay. So tell us your impression, firstly, your impression, you know, having a conversation with us in Liberia at this time, before we run into what we are here for.
If anyone would say they are not okay or happy or feel impressed about it, then I don't know what they want. Because unlike other countries where things are doing, the technological war is improving, Liberia is way behind. So to have few more especially Liberian base, for me it's monumental, it's very huge. I'm humbled. In fact, that's why I'm here on time. Now you see, you will even be surprised of the name because I'm not a radio kind of person. The reason I'm from a different background, do I see myself in politics today by chance? But I feel humbled that I'm here and I'm very impressed and hope to be as always.
Thank you. So let's move on to your district. You were being elected as the representative of that district, since 2023, and there were some lapses you saw in the district, and you have taken on to have them corrected. Would you mind bringing us to speed as to what have been your engagement since you took on as a representative?
So let me start like this. My name is Sam P. Jala. I father from Lofa, mother from Bomi. My father migrated into Bomi County. His own father migrated there. That's where they gave birth to him, and that's where he met my mother and gave birth to me. So I'm more like, you see, I was born there, so I did everything there. I'm doing everything there. So I'm from Bomi District number 3, specifically Patia Clinton District. I got my town. In Monrovia, I'm normally called academic savior. Let me say kudos to Olive, who made the arrangement possible. She sat on my class, math class, calculus, 2 semesters ago.
So you are also a lecturer at the university?
I've been in the classroom 24 years now, since 2000.
Long time.
Forget about my age, but I've been
a veteran.
No university in high school. I'm not taught in this. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So you crisscross most of the high schools and
I've
universities
gone even
in
to
Liberia.
counties. I became the first president of Math Teacher Association. We brought WAS. We made for all the leave from WAYEC to WAS. So yeah,
That's good.
I'm an academic. I'm a scholar. The Akara's great. All I know will tell you, we all been in the Rascals Valley and all the thing. But for us, we chose the scientific background, to learn science, more especially in the kind of environment where it's not prevalent. So it keep us quiet. So let's come back to us. So yeah, I just thought to come and so that the people, some of the citizens who follow, they may make the input. And sometimes the reason why some are all to embrace this kind of conversation, they are sometimes meant to use to evaluate you. When the citizens are listening, what you say, people will count and counter and something. So I just thought to start that way. Regarding your question, yes. So like I said, I just give you a brief history of why I am connected to Bomi County, specifically district number 3. So it's an issue of birth. It's not an issue of migration, it's not an issue of settlement, it's not an issue of greener pasture. So I have been there through, like the lawmaker that I won had been there 18 years. So that's 3 terms. And she was on her 4th term when I won her. I had not been in the politics. In fact, this is my first appearance on the political stage. And I'm lucky to be, should I say I'm blessed to be first down, first winning. And but the challenges are enormous, my friend. No sector you can name have gone 10% in the entire district. In fact, right now, I'm on my way to the swim maker side to spend 1 week as engagement from village to village. But because of the engagement, I thought it would be here. So yeah, I started engaging in people more than 15, 20 years in terms of humanitarian work, social youth empowerment, health sector, and everything. In fact, that's how I got my NGO called the Civil Foundation for Empowerment. And through that, I got more popular. So to answer your question, yeah, I've been involved more than 20 years.
So yeah, in Liberia, we Liberians will see, especially the electorates will see, the politicians or the political actors as their savior, regarding, to many of the situations they will be faced with. So when a politician goes there, they will have to put forth some of those issues they are confronting or confronted with. So some will be like the school, you from the academic background, the school issues, school-going kids in Bomi will be faced with a lot of challenges, ranging like maybe teachers in school. Teachers are now on government salary or government payroll. Even the chalk for school to use in the school, a lot more challenges. So you from the academic backgrounds, what are you also doing to tackle the issues of education in District 3?
The first thing I can say to that, because the way our country is run, everything is done in the urban side, so the rural side is not really concentrated.
This is why they send you.
I say this to say the basis that I can't call a number you would not believe. As I stand, I got 1,313 students on scholarship. If that were in Monrovia,
just in the district?
Just in the district.
Okay.
And you know why?
No.
If I had not done that intervention, some of the schools will not barely operate. Because why? Some of the issues you name. Some of the schools are in far to reach places. Some of the areas are not easily accessible. Some of the areas no teacher. So what those schools do in those kind of environment is they go around the town, tell the parent every month pay like 1,000, they put it together, they see us we're running. Some parents will say they don't have it because of that. So the way we thought we do it, open the scheme so that, for instance, if a school got a total number of 60 students and you alone got 40 or they paying that 1,005 or 2,000, it helps the schools to run. So my friend, I said it from the onset generically, let me say it in bit by piece. No sector in division number 3, Pommy County, made a door and so on, have reached 10%. Education.
Region from the previous administration to your administration.
I'm giving it, I'm saying it clear, it's on the radio. I hope some of the citizens will call back. And in fact, that's a reason.
So it means your predecessor testimony performed.
I can say that without fear. And it's clear. In fact, you being a public media person, I know you are aware that Bomi is ranked as one of the poorer counties. And you know, in my, we say fashion is a part of the whole. If Bomi is a poor, you know the part of Bomi to suffering that kind of poorness, right? So it's not screen. So nothing is happening. To be very honest, I'm going to be frank. Rules, reaching to the people, schools. In fact, there are some villages you go, you see a minimum nice building, but it's just there in the bush, nobody to go there.
Why?
No teacher. The parents that don't see interest in their children in the school because no motivation already. And those are things that compel some of us to get involved. And since we took over, the records are there. The encouragement I give. I just told you that I'm on my way to spend some 1 week with the hope that before the year end, we should have some structure educationally, infrastructure-wise, rural agriculture should be touched, the health sector area. You will go in some places that someone will get sick, they need to walk like 5, 6, 7 hours before they see a clinic. How can you live like that? How can you have that kind of structure? But the good thing about it, I'm honored. When I got elected, do as a new lawmaker, first on the political stage, there are committees. I want to say thanks to the speaker. There are committees that have been appointed on that are very strategic. If I don't use it to uplift district number 3, then I don't know what we do again.
So let's disregard your humanitarian, services within the district, and we go purely, administrative. So administratively, and you are the head of, let's say, legislatively, you are the head of the district, and people will be, opting to hear from you some of those policies and some of those things you are opting to put forth before the legislature as to whether, through legislation, policies will be made like teachers, volunteer teachers in Bombing District 3 will be placed on the payroll. Maybe, what are your progress you're trying to make in that sector?
Like you heard when the budget was passed, right? The speaker himself laid out all of those things. Now, I mean, I remember a good number, but the budget that was proposed by the Ministry of Education, we occupied almost 15 million plus because we thought one of that sector was good. And some of the argument the minister made was the same issue of volunteer teacher. As I speak now, I got 89 of the teachers in the district that I pay every month $4,005. And he has been running for almost 5 to 6 years. And the reason we try to do these things is because we want to meet the government halfway. But again, we can continue to do those things from our personal pocket. So the way we try to do it, is to, now that we are into policy making seat, we should try to push it. And those are the things we argument. In fact, when you hear me, I'm going to the district for 5 days. I'm going to be having a meeting. I refer to it as sectorial meeting. I'm going to be meeting the health sector, the educational sector, the youth, because we know some of the challenges, but we want to know what it means, and that's how you proffer their issue in the cases.
So as a mathematician, do you think the budget, proposed on behalf of the Ministry of Education is sufficient enough to tackle the many situations in the education sector?
Proportionally, no. Practically, yes. And what do I mean by that? If you want to match things by comparison word for word, then no, then the budget, then in fact, our entire, now we pass, the budget that came to us was 692 million plus. We passed it at 738. If we want to match it word for word, then we mean the entire 78 million plus will go to education. So that's why I'm not professional. But practically with what have come to us and the way we distributed them, that you hold the Ways and Means chair. By the way, I'm a member of the Ways and Means committee. So when you hold what the Ways and Means chair when you are doing his report, after we found additional $46 million, because the president sent the budget at 692, now it's passed at 738. So there was some $46 million addition that we saw when we were doing the reappropriation. Those were sectors that we updated with the hope and the caveat, and some of us will be there to do the oversight. That those issues that are hampering the education, for instance, teacher, training of teacher, volunteer teacher, teacher into schools, laboratory, accessibility, teacher training, and those are things we're going to be found from.
Okay, so it's good to understand some of these things, and then let's accept that it's been established and accepted in the society that students will have to go to school, and there are some people who were unfortunate to have attended school, and you see them dropping the weight alone, and there are other means, they can survive either by the way of vacation school establishment, or some kind of tertiary ideas or some kind of ideas created. What is your office doing so that you can create?
I'm one of the lawmakers who have told the people that for my first 6 years, my advocacy is not going to be to be more high school or more elementary school.
Okay.
I want TVEC. I do not know how people see it, and they should not be seeing or discouraging people, but for me, the actual basis of education is what you do in primary and junior. Look for a PhD student right now and get him a job. Everything he does in the office is what he did in elementary and junior high. Not what he did in it. Today I sit there, I hold 2 different masters in the sciences. Now, prior to becoming a lawmaker, I served as a quality manager at LPRC, where I was qualifying all the hydrocarbon products. The knowledge that I used to tell the sulfur content of gasoline was not learned from my PhD studies. It was learned from my basic chemistry. So that idea of people, everybody running for a degree, it is my opinion that in my district, I'm going to law so that by the time a child is graduating from 6th grade, he must graduate for skill. Because I can confirm
How you going to do it?
Yeah, to involve TVEC into the federal high schools. I just told you that I'm on my way for a sectorial meeting. Because mind you, this budget for Eastern, as we speak, the president hasn't signed the budget. We pass it. 1 month in the 5th month.
The 5th month, yeah.
How many months in the year? 12. So I mean, we got only 7 months to use the budget, right? So in my opinion, the first year is a 0. Nothing is more or less going to hit. And that is the reason why some of the night we push harder the way we wanted to push. But next year, budget watch out for us. More especially the budget will become right out the world. And it is our opinion for some of us who are proper way of generating revenue that the budget must say $1 billion plus. Because now for Eastern, now I want to say thank you to the speaker and the colleagues in the House. And this committee, since the foundation of Liberia has been constituted in the House called Science and Technology, it was through my communication, and I'm the chair of that. I'm going to work with all sectors that are involved with that. So for Eastern, the black sand, it was being mass, ordinary sand. That thing contains iron oxide. That's why the construction industry in the world is using to produce oxide. What we can do here. So it means that, like I was talking with Mr. P, and that was the reason why he got clued on me. If we, now the ban have been laid on the right, when that ban is lifted, it means there will be a new source of revenue generation. So what's going to happen? It's going to increase the envelope. And that's where we're going to push hard for the kind of thing. It is my opinion that in country like Liberia, what we're developing, we can't go for education the way the women goes. Right? We must come up with skill. Now the skill we're going to use to survive.
Your district is one of those remote districts in Liberia. And quote unquote, you might be facing, or your people might be facing serious challenges with regards to roads, like you earlier on said. That we agree. What is your relationship with popular work at times? Some of these things to be done in the rural part of the country. As a lawmaker, you need to have a good rapport, either with the public work minister or somebody connected in the public work ministry. What is the relationship you think that you will ride on, providing some of the easiness to your people in District 3?
Many times I tell people they are different between legality and expediency. And sometimes what we suffer from as Africa, that's why sometimes I think Africa become always buy into the women. We don't tend to draw the line on demarcation between the things. For instance, a typical Liberian will want you to have a master before you do a work. But why if you come for BSc and you're capable of doing the work? Or why if somebody graduates with a master's degree but they have never been on the job market and somebody got a BSc who have been on the job for 15 years? The women will take you. But the Liberian will say, no, you want your paper. Yeah, and that's how people using AI and other things to do people. And many times I tell people, for me, I'm a researcher. Most of the things you go to school to learn, by the time you finish graduating 4 years, there's no more use for in the world. Right now, go and make your research. Civil engineer is no more a gold dust degree. But you and I will agree 20 years ago, even right now in Liberia, everybody want a child to do it. Go to jumping in the world, people using rubber and they don't have needs for you. In fact, there's a policy now passed in China. As long as you're 22 years and above, you got a degree in civil, you can't live inside this state. And you know what? That's an environmental law. Because they want you move or to go look for area that they can advance. So to answer your question, what I'm trying to say is these things will move by nature. The constituency, there are 3 branches of government. They must be calling it. Why would I be as a lawmaker and do not want to have a conversation or a relationship with sectorial minister? I must do that. But the question is, what kind of conversation? One of the recent ministers that I have sat with will tell you is every time a lawmaker calls a minister, it's about, I got somebody I want you to employ. Are you going for the policy issue? I just named one of the minister, Mr. P. The conversation I had with Mr. P made him look clue to me on the, even when you go on private visit, he will comment, oh, Chala, I'm moving, because what? I engage him professionally. And because of that, he has seen the need that at the end of the day, our relationship.
You mean the Minister of Lands Mines?
Yeah, Lands Mines and Energy. Because the party, I went to him with my expertise. One of the things I told him is, I'm ready to work with you. Next year budget, you will produce the highest revenue for the country. Because it is there. For Eastern Liberia, do not have no geological survey data. Every time a concession comes to our country, they only give concession in what iron ongoing diamond. I can confirm that we got 26 different natural resources. Titanium, bauxite, all the things here. Why is it that most go to Western Cluster and go to Beer Money? They will tell you certain part of their side, they don't let Liberian go there. You know why? Because the men know that he had a concession for gold, but he's seeing bauxite, he's seeing titanium. He don't want you nearby. Anything is transported. With some in that house, those things will change because we're going to get involved. Right now, the university is building a very huge lab. There is a funding that we got for them from Novel's peer climate change that I attended university. So they gave some 300,000, but they said the lab will be built for public institution. We met a university, had a conversation, they agree, and that lab will be set up. Some are going to use that lab for research and the kind of analysis to be done. So that when you come to us and say you want anything, we'll tell you that this part of the country does not have only iron ore. It got this thing. So if you're mine yet, pay for all of them.
So did you say at B Mountain, the white guys don't allow the black guys, I'm not sounding racist, but a vital information that they don't allow, let's take it this way, a certain people to go there.
And I don't even want you to take that from me. Just make your research. Leroy, in fact, like I'm on the phone. If any of the guys in the area are listening, they will call you and tell you. Most of the concessions, they are certain side of the concession that don't allow locals to go there. But when you ask them, they don't know why. Because the lawmakers of those areas maybe they do not have the technical know-how. And they don't know. I'm from Bombing County.
How did you get to know that?
Like I told you, I'm a natural scientist. Follow my program.
You went on the scene?
I come back there. I'm a natural scientist. There's a topographical ground and I got in my phone. Nobody in the country has it. Because I have a consultant for United Nations agencies that has to do with geological research. Now, let me just give you one of the problems Liberia is suffering. An office established by maybe the government, they're going to employ you, but they want you to use your own laptop. The day they sack you, what do you think will happen? You go with your laptop. That's why Liberia don't have a data. My brother, you who yesterday you agree with me, just come on to the government to start up a Liberian government, you can't find nothing. The legislature has been elected, does not even have a functional website. Why if you get a citizen go out to tell the government and they wanted to do their thesis, where do they get it from? They have to go for secondary data, right? For that is shame. And that's one of the things I let the speaker, he said it, but we're going to push him to do it. He must digitalize the legislature so that people can find information. And some of the information we give you, we will put it up for people to see. If I just show you the map now, the geological map of Liberia in terms of natural resources and where people money, about 86 to 87% of Liberia now, landscape have been, if money is going on there. But the major landscape might only know about maybe 20 or 35%. The other ones are illegal. Illegal in the terms that they are not bringing revenue to our country, but some are very Liberian are aware and harbor the gas in the far to reach area. Some of them I may not want to say on the phone, but that's fine. And thank God we are there.
So you talk about building relationship, to carry development in your district. Let's give us your stance with regards to the caucus. What is the relationship with Senator Tallers and Senator Snow?
In fact, if any of them listening, maybe I do not want to see as a plus on my bar, but I think this caucus, the 55th caucus of Birmingham, is the most united since Birmingham was formed.
Why do you think so?
No, the records are there. Make research and see when last Birmingham the caucus ever had a meeting and all five of them were present. It never happened, only this year. As we speak now, I'm the secretary of the caucus. Honorable Snow is the vice chair. Honorable Bishop is the chairperson. We've met. In fact, it was against that today we got what we call the Western Region Legislative Caucus, the first of the kind in Liberia. So the entire Western region, Barbados, Cayman, and Bombing would now have a united caucus and we're working together. And that's how you see the president is even being moved and being pushed. You heard about the tourist sector that is going in Cape Mana. So the way we are starting to want to use Barbados as a health sector for the region, since they have the Embry, Bombing is going to be used for the educational, while Cayman is going to be used for tourists.
The 738 million budget passed by the legislators, The president has not signed the budget. What do you think is responsible for the president not signing? Is it because he's out of the country?
I want to believe it because when we passed on the budget as House, it went to the Senate. I think 2 days they passed on it. At that time, he was on it with her. And even I'm saying you have not signed. It's possible that you've signed, but we've not heard it.
Okay, so that's a good thing for the people of Bombing County, and you know, have come from Bombing County as their son, and you are at the legislature. Now let's move on to your work at the legislature. Directly, you're going to make law, you're going to represent them, and you have some oversight responsibility. So let's look at the lawmaking aspect. It's not that it is bounding that you make law, but you can contribute significantly to some of the bill passed in the House of Legislature that would impact the lives of your people in Bombing County. What has been your engagement reaching from your colleagues at the House of Legislature?
Very mutual, very understanding, very engaging. In fact, that is the reason why I'm one of those joining those that say civics should be brought back to the schools.
Okay.
Yeah, because you see the way you put it, it shows that you are understanding. You got a full good understanding of the issue. I don't have to make law. The question is, does Liberia not have enough laws? They are there. Liberia issue is implementation. And when you give me any sector or pump with anything that Liberia, I'm not waiting something on it. It's just implementation. So many times somebody will go with too much exuberance, oh, I want to make law, and they just start writing crap. So let's pick up my 4 months there. I just said about a committee called Science and Technology. Since the legislature, there is the first time the committee was on. Science had never been included. I did that communication the first week we took over in January. By the grace of God, it was adopted. Today, I'm the chairperson on the committee on Science and Technology.
Is it because you the one proposed for the establishment?
I think in the knowledge of the speaker, more besides looking at what rule that guides him in appointing people, more people who are knowledgeable.
Yeah.
With no disrespect to our colleague, every profession is respected. But if you want to look at our credential in terms of natural scientists in the house, I will be counted. The reason everybody got an era, everybody got a few, some of the guys. That's why you're not hearing some already causing the noise on the film, because we're not a natural politician. We are people who feel worse, but when we encounter our era, then we become strong about it. Like I told you, some of the things with Pooch that have opened the eyes of the Senate for even the blacking of the blasting, the ban on it, the issue of latex not being sold by locals, the ban on it, all these things, and there are more we going to show about it. By the time we return, you must follow it. You will see some of the things, because I'm going to make sure that STEM program is elevated in this country. Because right now, the word, technology is the one who in the world.
Yes, certainly.
So we can't be backward. You go in other countries now, nobody moving around with money in their pocket. It's because of technology, right? Yeah. Those days, the way...
Move for electronic money.
Perfect. Those days, the way hydrocarbon was drilled, it's not being drilled as that. People stay for 5 days and operated. The medical field, the way it's being operated in other countries, now you got smartwatch and other things that tell you, at least at the superficial level, what is happening to you, and you made because of science and technology. We will make our people to get used to it, so that our young people will not get... Because, for instance, country comes, concession comes to our country, and our people are not concerned about what the country can get in terms of finance, but they don't get time about the degradation of the environment. So the concession comes, they stand 10, 15 years ago, and the environment becomes degraded. How do you reclaim it? It is science and technology. So I have been engaged since my full year. So if you talk about law, then me, I have signed the first law, which is a budget. Budget is a law, right?
Yeah.
So I contributed that I signed it. The issue of the World Crown Code, we all, how I will say, I will issue all the guys pull on some bill, and we follow, we make some support, and we contribute. So we have been engaged, and we'll be following on the basis of our 3 cardinal responsibility.
So as a natural scientist, people might be eager to understand your wisdom and understanding on natural disasters occurrence across Liberia. You know, that has to do with some of the landslide or mudslide like we experienced a couple of months ago in River-Cess County that led to the death of several other citizens. And the heavy storm blowing, you know, around Liberia. Would you mind sharing us your experience?
Basically, it's global warming and man activity on the earth. For instance, let me give you an example. You go in Europe right now and enter the supermarket or the market and buy anything, you can follow a whole house. Nobody's going to give you back for it until you pay for it. In a typical African medicine is that the people is expensive, but that is an environmental law. I give you a typical example. A Liberian man goes to the market, he buy one donut, he yell at the seller, where's the bag? And they're going to give him plastic bag. You think that man will go in empty and use that plastic bag? He will throw it. Because the fact that he's not paying for that plastic bag, he think he can get it anytime, he throw it to the environment. And my friend, it will shock you to know that plastic bag spend 1 million years to get ready. And that's why in the women who are using paper bag and not just plastic bag. Do you sometimes wonder that all the water plastic we see on the street during the dry season, but the rainy season can't go, you don't see them? They are deposited on the earth. I can confirm that there are certain part of the Liberia in the next 50 to 75 years, you plant anything that won't grow. For instance, you're talking about the one, what the company just called the landslide riverside. That one, it has to do with underground mining. Okay. But let me bring the one that is purely environmental. Perfect. Yeah. Let me bring the one that happened I think 5 or 7 years ago that happened in 70. You know what caused that landslide in 70? Plastic bag. Just plastic bag.
But there's some natural soil that just can
yeah, but the thing about
experience, landslide without the cause of a plastic bag. And
I'm only giving that one. You know, sometimes when you are explaining and answering questions, you want people of all sphere to understand. Yeah. People who are not natural scientists in all of it so they can see the basis. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you that plastic bag take 1 million years to get ready. Now, assuming that thing is been there some meter of sand and a below meter is in the middle. What does that mean? It means just having like a trap, right? I just trying to. But let's come back to some of the way you want to go. You want to have it entrenched, right? Mm-hmm. The natural thing is all of them contribute from men's environment.
How can we tackle as a poor nation?
Simple. One, we must give credence to science. We must give credence to research. That's one. Two. Do you rather sit down sometime and see people go around the beach and want to mountain for the environment and maybe public work, environmental agency or other project get permit? What is the EAR, the environmental impact assessment? Have to study, though they don't care. But then what's going to happen when the money occur? I bet you now, just take your time, go to Bear Mountain. You can drive underground for straight 3 hours, you're underground driving. The people have mind to that level.
Bear Mountain.
Bear Mountain, go keep my ass on the matter. If any of them listen, they will tell you can use a Hammond Jeep. You go underground, what the money, and drive for 3-4 hours, you can reach at the end. So the question is, that is an underground mining, right? Mm-hmm. When you look at the MDA, what giving the right to do that kind of mining? What is the environmental impact assessment that got into them? What kind of soil is that? Is
that a death trap set?
I want to tell you that. I want to say that. The reason is, first of all, you're using nitrogen sulfate to do the blasting. Because those days, black powder was used to do blasting, but now you're using that soil to do that. Where is the byproduct going? It is being deposited in that cave. It's going to disturb the water table.
Yeah,
and those things will take 10, 15, 20 years to come, and we're going to happen. By the time, for instance, you're talking about natural something. Every 10 person now that go to the hospital, you see 7 or 6 say they tell you they get sugar or pressure because of what we're eating. What is the standard lab of our country doing? Are they testing these things? These things, for instance, chicken wings, maybe India. The man is going to tell you that you're going to spend 6 months to expire, but from production to package, it will take him 5 more. From transportation from there, it take him 4 more. The 5 more have not finished, but then it kind of goes to our market without testing. And so here on science and technology in the house, those are things. By the time we return, those are the kind of talk we're going to make, and we'll make sure that all the people that are supposed to be there to manage the life and health of the people must do it scientifically and technologically.
So we go back to the areas that has to do one of your functions, the enabling representation. Are you also key or taking into consideration some of the impact and the impact taking what the people need and what they want to be done on the global scene? Forget about only in District 3, but there could be a suggestion made by an individual in District 3 and could impact the people of Bond County, could also impact the people within Maryland. Are you also going to have a town hall meeting to understand what their plights are, their priorities, so you can pull for the House of Legislature?
And one man who came from the background research, so I brought up the legislature. The document is me, guy, man. When I got elected, when I got announced, even before the second round, I did a full research of my district. Right now, as I stand, I can tell you how many villages in town in my district, how many homes, how many human beings, how many ponds, which one go, which one not go, how many schools, how many teachers, how many this. The reason is when you are knowledgeable of the issue, then you can solve the problem. If you are not, then you can't solve that. So that I'm cognizant of these things. Those are things that will take to us. And that is the reason why when I say I'm living here today for 1 week, I'm going to have stakeholder conversation so that if I'm talking in the issue of security, I know what's up. For even in the Swan Mega, there is no much hysterical. So how are people solving their issue? It's because of Richard that I got to know that.
Police station.
Simple. So, yeah, I am aware of that, and I'm taking that. And those are things that I'm going to be ready to put on the table. These are things I'm going to be constituting on my own communication to make my contribution in the terms of having my oversight over the issue.
So you serve as a quality manager at LPRC, and giving us the various experience you have had over the years and looking at your people like you have presumed. 10, 15, 20 years from now, the people there in Bomi or Cape Mon will suffer from safe drinking water, accepting the fact of how, the Bee Mountain go about blasting.
Chemical byproduct in the deposit.
So how do you intend, to protect your people from, getting such a byproduct after 10, 15, 20 years, giving us as a lawmaker currently, and accepting the fact that there are biochemicals being used over there? So are you also here telling us how you think you are, envisioning, some ideas that 10, 15, 20 years from now, they will have access to either a hand pump, even not the hand pump, but a reservoir where people will go and fetch a very safe drinking water?
Simple, yeah.
And
the way to do it is to blend both politics and science. Now I'm in the political seat, which is the powerful thing, the one that allows you to make policy, have oversight on your people. So like I said, the first thing you want to do sightseeing of these places. See how the deposition has been made. Are they made in accordance with law? Are they made in accordance with best practices? Why is it that every time people have these things, they want to ask you for your EAI, environmental impact assessment? I don't think that inform you on what you use it, how you're going to use it. At the end of your operation, how would the environment become? So we're going to inform ourselves through the various procedures scientifically. Then when we are informed, whatever the information tells us in the way of remediating it, we're going to use the law now to do it on the basis of our oversight and our lawmaking strength. For instance, right now you heard the president, like some of the example we gave you, the president put a ban on the manner of black sin. So the political way there is, it has been banned, right? The scientific way will be, what will happen next? Can we encourage the government, bring equipment? We say that each thing can be changed to asphalt. If anything can be changed to asphalt, you're talking about making road, then you will not be inputting asphalt. These are the chemicals in there, the equipment you bring technicians and librarians. Can we train people? So yeah, to answer your question, we're going to blend politics and science to make sure that these things are solved. And the way to be solved, that's what I explained. Carry the scientific side of it, use the political side to have the power done and implement it. And that's why before even coming to the progressive state, for development to be sustainable, it must not start with the politician. It must start with the technician. Because the politicians are only there for policy making, but the technicians are the one that look at the crush of the matter.
As a member on the Committee of Waste, Means and Finance, give us your perspective on the assets recovery team that was been established in a couple of months ago by the president and quote-unquote officials of that committee. Some are resigning, due to poor management and non-support. They were heavily criticized, by politicians, especially the opposition bloc that has to do with the CDC. Do you mind giving us your perspectives on how you think some of them are resigning, why they are resigning, and how do you foresee how the workings of the assets recovery team will be?
So basically, I wouldn't know why they are resigning. But what I can say holistically is, in my opinion, based on my experience, the constitution of that asset recovery from the onset was a mistake.
Why you tell me it's a mistake?
Simple. My friend, don't take a non-technician and give him a technical job. To recover asset, it's not something you put in your feelings.
So
it is my opinion. Simple.
Yeah, your opinion. How can you have? They are novice, right?
Yeah. How can you have?
Erin Clark Martin is a novice.
How can you have? It's a novice on the basis of recovery. I mean, a lawyer is simple.
Emmanuel Gongwe as well.
Emmanuel Gongwe. Yeah. Who is Gongwe? He's a politician. What does he know about asset? Does Emmanuel go know the sequences of asset numeration? Does he know it? Before you recover something, it means you must have some numeration done about that thing.
Okay.
How can you get on the street to say that because, okay, so why inform your judgment to say I'm going to park a particular set of car? Only because of the name? That is not how people recover assets. When you recover assets, you recover for the nation. You do not recover for yourself. So you must employ so technical work. The first thing you want to do is, does the country have an entity or agency responsible for asset gaining in the first place? Asset recording, asset storage. Those are the people you want to go to and get the information. Let me tell you, my friend, one of the problems I think we have in our country is people want to work on the basis of their sentiment, but not on the basis of the procedure and the law set down by that thing. How do you want to restore asset?
So do you turn that workings to be like a witch hunt?
Maybe I wouldn't want to use the word wisdom so you don't see I'm getting it, but I see it as the best word to use as ignorant.
Ignorant.
When people do not know something, then they tend to make some mistakes. And the way they make the mistakes, it tends to be different. And the way you do it now, people will characterize you in a form and manner. So if you ask me, I don't know whether you're resigning, but if you ask me, the constitution of the asset recovery, in my opinion, the president was misled. He did not implore what he needed to have implored. The individual themselves lack the technical will.
So what recommendation could you give the president?
So the president must rethink, relocate it, and make sure that for those kind of things, you want to talk to neutral people. Not people who have been seen, quote unquote, taking side already. Let me tell you, the human mind works on the basis of emotions. And that is something you can take from him. That's how God made us. And that is the reason why we are unique. That's why when I'm in my motivational speaking space, when I go into university, I say, the first time as a young man, you feel in love when you start comparing yourself with another person. At that point, you're telling yourself that your natural gift is not important. That's the first mistake. So if you come in holistically to the kind of technical work, if you get into something and lack procedure, then you will not achieve what you want.
Representative Sempi Jalai is part of the many representatives who signed the War and Economic Crimes Code in Liberia. Given the widely spread misviews of citizens, on how the code will be established, where it would be established, and the economic benefit, would you mind explaining to us a bit so we can get your position on where you think this war crime code will be established, the economic benefit, it will be established in Liberia or out of Liberia? What do the people of Liberia stand to significantly benefit?
So now that I'm on air, let me make some record straight. I did not sign it, not because I think I don't support it, it's because I was not in the country.
Well, if you were in the country, you would
I would have signed it.
Okay.
But not the way it was signed, because by that time I was attending a climate summit in Chile.
Okay.
When I say not the way it was signed, by that time, when we are candidate, what do we say? That before we do anything, we'll go to the people saying we are their deputy, right?
Yeah.
So maybe if I were in the country at the time, that would have been some of the reason why my signature wouldn't have seen. Because my thing was, I wanted it to go back to the people, have a town hall conversation, and maybe the typical generic population would say, oh, the town. So, but the fact that I didn't sign it, I supported, I won. I just wanted the record to carry that. Yeah. Another thing regarding the question you asked, are you people talking about, oh, the code must be established outside Liberia for the fear that people, then my thing is, then why you want it? Mm-hmm. If you think the people will riot against it, then what do you want? Then it just tell you that the people too don't want it. Because the thing about it is, if you say the government is for and by the people, then you want to listen to the people. Mm-hmm. That's the first thing. Do I not want justice? Of course I want justice. That's one. Two, my friend, there are certain things in life that don't happen in a vacuum. Liberians on the low scale now are living on less than $1. Do you want to call the people that think they want to put in the millions to have the codes established to improve the life of Liberia? My friend, imagine you can get 75 to 80% of your population working in that woman. Nobody will get them, but who you carrying the code? And justice will be served. But at the point where people see spending money on issues that they themselves not getting the life that they deserve, only because somebody want to get somebody because of justice, in my opinion, I think for me it's a procedural thing. If I'm asked, the code must be built here. What is causing the code to not be built here must be solved. If the issue of the TRC say you must go to the victim and the perpetrator have conversation, do it, start on that. Then when you come to the code, you will not have the fear of people coming to riot against you. That's my point.
People are saying the code should not be built here because Charles Taylor was never tried in Liberia and he's been, placed in jail in a foreign country, and considering similar crime he committed, and it's something that, he colleagues in Liberia, people who, the warring fractions, were involved into. So that means if Charles Taylor was not, sentenced in Liberia, the other colleagues should not also be sentenced in Liberia.
But here's a mistake we're making too now. Charles Taylor wasn't sentenced to jail for crime committed in Liberia. Follow the case. Charles Taylor was sentenced and he was carried to the tribunal. He was arraigned before court. He was found guilty and sentenced to jail for the number of years that we know now for crimes committed against civilians, not Liberia. And that code is a war crime code by civilians. So that's why he was carried.
But that's a misview now, people.
And that's the reason we talk about education now. And that's the reason we talk about information dissemination. For instance, you and I are talking about the issue of the war crime code. When last you heard the government information, I'm taking that 2, 3, 4 hours, coming to all the radio stations and now doing pick and choose to have the education to the people. So, my friend, I normally tell people you can make a good policy. If the people for whom the policy are made are not thought about the policy, that policy will fail.
Thank you. The government is coming down. Prior to their sentencing, they made it public, clear that they have, taken into consideration assets declaration. You declare your assets and make it public. But let's ask you first, have you declared your assets?
Just tell SMP Jala, just 3 days ago, was it 3, 4 days ago when LACC published their 4 quarterly report? I took my part. If I'm the only person from Bombing Canada have declared, and I actually published on the day that I declared.
Okay, thank you.
So I have done that.
Okay, well, I think the people of Bombing County will be happy.
In fact, most of them commented on that post on my page.
Okay, so let's go back to your colleagues at the House of Legislature. Bulk of them have declared and have not made it public, and the President Bouaka, declared and did not make it public, and he came on by telling people he's going to lead by difference or lead by example as a leader. But since the President declared his access, he had not made it known to the public. And bulk of your colleagues at the House of Legislature had not made their assets public, and they have not even declared their assets. How do you want to term their work in their respective districts on the overall the Liberian economy?
So let me speak to the moral of that. And the moral of that, let me start from the law. For me, I'm one person who believes that what is not done by law is not done at all. If the law did not compel anyone to publish, and you do not publish, I'm not against you. But if you yourself come with morals or proclamation and you can't publish, that's why I'm against you. So at this point, of all of those that have now published it, or that have not even declared, the president is one person that I'm frowning on.
Okay.
And the reason for that, because he publicly said
you're
it when
framing
he was
at the
not
president.
pushed. Oh yeah.
So
he was not pushed to say what he said. Because there was some of the reasons.
So the president's action of declaring access and not making it public is wrong.
It's immoral for me.
Okay.
If he's calling himself a moral bastard, then it's immoral.
Okay.
The question will be, who told you to say it? Why are you not doing it now? It is only now that you're reading the law that say you're not compelled to do it. That's moral issue. So for me, that's my problem with that. The problem about not publishing is the law did not say so. Some of us have decided that when we return, then they look at the law, we amend the law. If it is a moral issue and it's something that will save the nation, let it shine into the law that you must declare and publish.
How do you think in future a judge of the Economic Crime Code will reconcile the issue of a lawmaker not declaring and making the access public and was being taken to the Economic Crimes Code, and it was being asked as to what you had before taking on public position, and given the understanding that the president did not declare their access and they will have just come up with any FQ that I had this before taking on office, how would it be reconciled?
It can never be on the basis of moral again. And that's why when we did a reappropriation, when we checked that, when we talk about accountability institutions, that is the LACC, FT, all of them, we increased their budget by I think 6 to 7 million because we thought we wanted it to be effective. Even LACC, I do not know about the time sitting on the radio, but prior to my coming here, some of them had not declared. They have not published nothing. How can you be a referee for a particular thing, nobody knows nothing about it? That's one. Two, the people at LACC, although referees who sort of be talking accountability issue, then themselves must show and stand the ground to tell people that they appeal. And the way you can do it is either push out for some of these things must be to be legislated, then people know that you have the will, or you yourself must start to do them voluntarily. For instance, everyone talk about the legislature. All of the audit report goes to, or have they audited us? Is the LACC even following our own people declare it? Like the last time I heard people laughing at Musa ability of only, I think, 30-something million. Have the LACC ever come back to the radio and say, yeah, whatever the main problem with Tracy is correct?
But are you guys open to audit, or is individual movement?
We are open to audit. In fact, the speaker, through us, made a resolution. And in fact, we invited LACC to do an audit of the legislature, according to them.
But the resolution doesn't have the effect.
No. No. And that's the issue that we have. No, it doesn't. And that is the reason why since that resolution was passed, since we agreed that the audit must be done in 1-2 months, we're going to the 5th month and nothing has been done.
Will it be a representation from a governance perspective of the three branches? The legislature isn't audited, but the two other branches are being audited. Does it show a governance representation of the three branches of government?
It does not even show equality in terms of dispensing of their duties. And it made other people to feel that you want to act like a demon god. And that's where the issue of governance can feel. For me, that's my opinion.
And you go with the perception, though it is a perception, that the legislature has always been the Liberia's problem?
For me, I don't see it as a perception, but it's a fact. Let me tell you why.
It is a fact?
For me, it's a fact, and I can prove it. If you look at the constitution of the three branches of government and in terms of their power, the legislature is the only one that holds the other ones accountable, right? So if we are there, we can call the president and we can impeach the president, we can call the justice and we can impeach him. But then we ourselves are not taking on this thing. Then how do we expect things to be better? So for me, it is a fact that anything that comes from the legislature and it becomes bad, the entire country will suffer. But when it comes from the executive and the judiciary and it is bad, the legislature can correct it.
You see you guys being audited this year, next year, year after? Or it will just be the usual history or rhetorics all over the place that we are open to audit, and then no audit like we saw in previous or with previous governments.
My brother, until it can happen, I think it's another rhetoric. Let me tell you why. We passed a resolution where we all signed in majority or unanimously that we must declare and publish our assets within 2 weeks. How many months are we? And you just saw what the LCC declared. About almost 50, about I think 30 to 40% of the house had declared, but the remaining percent did nothing. And people got that reaching some of that. I can say it because it's their personal thing. So for me, it's an issue. It's a bad start.
The next few months, what you guys going to do? Now, some of you guys did. I just saw your page. I went there. Yeah. Good. But the next few months, how is it going to be there at the legislature going forward that you've got majority have not declared, and I don't think they're going to do it. How the atmosphere going to be? You guys going to be pressing them, oh look, guys, or let's lead by example. Let's do this, let's do that. Even though we've got a resolution on the floor, but a resolution isn't a resolution when the effect cannot be seen.
No, but the good thing about resolution in the House, more especially at the House of Representatives, in terms of bounding, it holds everyone responsible and accountable to that. So what some of us going to be doing? In fact, in our very chat room, the speaker has started blowing that because he's one of those who stood by what that resolution he declared. So he asking the guys to do it. So we are hoping that when we get back, someone will call for that resolution, and we'll make sure the public will be aware of these guys. And I think that will help to push them morally.
Answer this one, then we move to the public to ask you whatever question or questions they got.
You're welcome.
Your colleague, what's your observation? At one point in time, he's ranting. The House is not in order, the flow now. And then another point in time, somebody else is on the floor. Most of the time, why the House of Representatives floor is always noisy as opposed to or reference to the Senate that is quiet, you get an intellectual flow. Why are you guys always and then there's ranting, invectives being thrown across the floor? Why is it like that?
My brother, in fact, that's some of the questions that always come to me when I go to this kind of conversation. People ask me what's the impression of the House or what's the first positive and negative. That's one discussing thing about the House that I've seen. And guess what? It is in our rule. Article 38 of the Constitution allows us to form our own rule of government activity. In the rule, it talks about, and that's why we even got a committee for that called Rules and Order, chaired by one Melvin Cole. But my brother, you will not understand, thank God you've seen it. People talk across the phone when you ask some of the guys who think they are more political than their friends. Say, that's the best way to run in the Do you see other parliament? Must you do that before it happens? More especially at the point where people are not getting each other. So for me, yeah, that's one discussing thing that normally happens at the legislature.
It distorts
the flow of
information, and you guys don't
the
get
intellectual platform is not saying no sensitivity, no sanity.
You guys don't reach a resolution on a given issue. You will just
We are hoping that when we return, some of us who are new will continue to sound that and ring that to our colleagues. But it's bad.
Yeke Kaluba, what's your observation of him? He
think
always stirs up the atmosphere.
Yeah, I think Yeka is a random guy. Random guy in the sense that Yeka orientation to politics is what he's doing right now. Yeka orientation, whoever brought him to politics told him that you need to be on the radio. Even if it is the good or the bad thing, do it, but you must be on the radio. And he go about carrying himself that way. That's all I can say about Yeka. He's just a guy who is that kind of guy.
You support some of what he does or says?
Of course, in everything in life for us who are who are scientists, nothing comes perfect. There are some of the things he says they are good, and some of the things are bad. But the way he does it is where some of us got our problem. Returning
to the legislature after the break. Before then, I've been reading something. Is it true that 21.13 million for project activity that was allocated for your district?
My district?
I saw a budget of 21.13 million.
For district number 3?
For district, district project, or the 73
you mean
lawmakers.
For the no, so let's see something. I don't know which one you're talking about, but let me just give you some information that you can use. Besides the county or the social development fund that comes on the budget, I think you heard about the famous $30,000 being given to lawmaker in the past, right? This 55th thought that money was bringing too much confusion with the people. Secondly, it had the issue of accountability, the way some lawmakers were using the same were going to the in charge. So we resolved that we are not going to allow or give any lawmaker $30,000 anymore. But we're going to have something called legislative project that will be in the tune of $100,000. And that money will be given to lease. All you have to do as a lawmaker is to identify a project with consultation with your people. For instance, if you say you want to build a clinic, you go to Liz and tell them I want a clinic and I want 6-room clinic. Liz is going to do the assessment, put out a bill. If it costs $50,000, they build it, you remember money, you cover another project, but this time the money will not go to you.
You guys will not be the implementer.
No.
You will not be allocating and implementing.
No. Liz will be taking, and in fact, we even had a hearing with Liz in a public hearing, and it was done there.
You're listening to Bits and Pieces on Voice of Liberia 104.1 Monrovia, Voice of Liberia 89.7 Kakatamagibi County, Voice of Liberia 90.7 Bon County, Voice of Liberia. Yes, the online radio. There you. Voiceofliberiaradio.com. Our guest this afternoon is Representative Sam P. Jala, District 3, Swain Mecca, Bombing County. You can now have your say whatever the question you got for him. 0770 907 907 0770 907 907 0886 673 922. Hello?
Good evening, people, St. Andrews.
Yes, good afternoon. What is your name and where you call from?
My name is Joshua Samapiro. I'm calling from Ghanaville, to be specific, on Tunisian campus.
Let's hear you, Joshua. What's your question to the representative?
Well, it's not a question, it's just a commendation concerning lawmaker. Lawmaker, yes, indeed. I really want to visit him, yes, because the background he's from, I'm also a mathematician. The civil engineer at Bella-Marie Polytechnic, BSc in civil engineering. And then the issue of that particular district, because even though I lived in Bomi for so many years, I was in what have the manual manufacturing company. Now, a lot of things are going on in Western Cluster. So people that people see each other on the caucus from Bomi County, I believe strongly that indeed the rest will go on.
Okay, Chief.
The issue of a the Western cluster. The agreement is said that they are going to be on railroad. But up to now, the people are spoiling the
Okay, he will address that. You want to give chance to the other person, you can stay on the line all day. Hello?
Hello.
Yes? Your name and where you call from?
My name is Josiah. Thank you for calling on Fairman on the West Coast.
Let's hear you, Josiah. What is your question to the representative?
I don't have a question for him, but I just want to say that what he is saying today is when everything goes right, that will be a better country.
Thank you. 0770-907-907, 0886-673-922, 0776-3640-45. Hello? Good afternoon. Hello?
Hello,
Your name and where you call from?
my name is Pastor Benjamin Dix, and I join you from Brazil.
You say your name? Speak louder.
Benjamin Dix, and I join you from Brazil.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, thanks to your studio guest, but I want to please address the way the artist recovery going on. What is the take on it, sir?
Okay. He will address it. Hello?
Hello?
Good afternoon. Your name and where you call from?
My name is Prince Bodo Jr. I'm calling from Liberia.
Let's hear you, Prince.
I told you, Vlad, man, studio on our law maker. So, Vlad, no good to do. So, Vlad, thank you.
Hello? You are on the air, sir.
Hello,
Your name and where you call from?
I'm Fanny Adiupan Junior calling from Duazon.
Let's hear you there from Doazon.
Yeah, I just want to appreciate Honorable Representative, Honorable Stephen Jalab. I'm from the city, from the county university. Honorable, I just want to encourage you to do your work and do your best.
Thank you for calling. Hello?
Yeah, hello?
Your name and where you call from?
Yeah, I'm Ben calling from Bon County.
Let's hear you, Ben.
Yeah, thank you very much for the unique topic. I would like for you to do something good that you have started for you to do it for all of us who get hard time to talk to our lawmakers. Then please.
You mean to bring them in one by one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm checking honorable lawmaker thing in studio. You know, among all the guys we have who one day among them, their plan can be good. Also, we the citizens of the country, we should also guard our lawmaker. Like my lawmaker in Bon County is one of the development-oriented lawmaker. And I beg you, I would like for you to invite my lawmaker on the platform so we can have discussion with you, Honorable Josiah Marvin Cole.
Okay.
One of the strong lawmaker, yeah. So please do this for all to be invited.
Yeah, we will do that. Yeah, we'll do that. You are very right. Voice of Liberia covering the entire country. Thank you.
Thank you. So the program is very unique. Our voice can be heard on it. So
Okay.
our lawmaker
Yeah.
will be invited.
Zero.
Maybe I want to say don't lawmaker also.
Okay.
Also.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling. 0770-907-907, 0886-673-922, 0776-3640-45. Hello? Yes, good afternoon.
I'm Richard calling from New Macquarie.
Let's hear you, Richard.
Yeah, I want to say a final form to the lawmaker in the house there. The poor people, the house, a people say already. I want to know either the legislature will put down Liberia here or it will stop from it. And see how that will be.
Okay. Yeah, all right. Thank you.
Yeah, they will stop from.
Thank you. Whether we start from in Liberia or out. Hello?
Yeah.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing fine.
Okay. This we are speaking from Samuka town.
Let's hear you, Mr. Tupa.
I want to appreciate the lawmaker in there concerning about especially our minerals that in the country that can go free. Let God give him that strength and bring this country into reality. May God bless him.
Thank you so much for calling. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, hello, bro.
Your name and where you call from?
Yeah, my name is Victor. I'm calling from Puebla.
Let's hear you, Victor.
Yeah, commence the honorable man in studio. There are something he just talked on and got me concerned about that too. And when she talked about the plastic bag, which is the cold water plastic bag that was and the plastic that we usually use here and there that in the near future the cost problem and it should people are doing look at those season. But when they do that occur, then that's the time we start looking for different means to see how we can solve the problem. It can be late for us. So I recommend to him as he himself seen it as a scientist, we can push it in the hospital to see how best we can get rid of the plastic there instead of continue to use it in the future that will not
All right, sir.
for us.
All right. Thank you.
Please do that for us.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello?
Your name and where you call from?
Yeah, thank you, sir. And you, this is Emmanuel Richardson, and I joined the conversation from Upper Kawa. I would like to say hi to the lawmaker, right? And I would like to ask the lawmaker, the road that leaving from Motompona to Swam Maka district, that road is one of the oldest roads in Liberia. I really want to know if you have any plans to see maybe you could work along with public or the government to see how you can source funds, at least to later on and put that on that road. I really want to know if you have any plan for that or you get anything in the pipeline.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here I answer. Hello.
Hello.
Your name and where you call from?
Yeah, my name is Abu Salim. I joined from Arasara Town, Sonara District, Sulikante.
Let's hear you, Sion.
Yeah, I want to give clarifications to our lawmaker. You know, we're not electing, we not make a mistake with electing. And I want to ask you that electing, you have a big task ahead because can you imagine our station then I found my past 18 years. So we need change, and God help us with change. So we put him there. So at least with the youth, we come to our aid. We need some vocational institution. Most of our youth now, somebody want to go now, somebody riding motorbike. So at least the help us in that way, at least a vocational school to be better for with the youth of the district. Thank you.
Okay. Hello. Hello. You are on the air, sir. What is your name?
I'm Momo.
Yeah, Momo, let's hear you.
Yeah, I'm calling from Hotel Africa.
Let's hear you, Momo.
Yeah, I want to first say thank the lawmaker and then contribution to the discussion is I want for the lawmaker to at least work along with colleagues in making sure that bombing can benefit infrastructurally when it comes to the development in bombing there. And then when it comes to the educational area, they also at least work there too. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you ever so much. Thank you all for spicing it up. Representative Jala, you can respond to the concerns and questions.
All right, so let me start from Dan. Momo just spoke. He thanked me. Momo, I want to say thank you. I'm humbled, but he want me to work with my colleagues so that bombing can be better. In fact, that's why some of us came to the political stand, because the thing about it is in Africa, politicians have the way of pushing things, more especially at the House of Legislature. Like, you know, we do oversight, we do lawmaking, and we represent our people. Some of the platform we use the budget. This year's budget, like you know, we're in the 5th month, so you got 7 more for the budget to survive. They are not much in it because of where the budget came, but we can promise you. And like you said, we're going to make sure that the infrastructure, educational, health sector, and every sector of our country and the country at large feel the pinch of the budget. Abu commended me too, and he want me to help. He from other side of Abu saying, Abu, I want to say thank you. Thank you for being in the district. I'm going to be in Swam Mecca tonight, and I will be there up to Sunday. I'll be meeting various stakeholders. Abu, I got interest in the young people. Many of the time we have this phrase of the young people are the future leader. I normally say my addition to that is, it is not the crazy young people, but the prepared young people. And the way you can be prepared, you must be given the opportunity. I promise you that in my 6 years, you're going to see the change that we're going to put forward. Emmanuel Richardson, you said you're talking about the role of Motokono. Yeah, Emmanuel, not even just Motokono, but the entire landscape of the country, the county, the district, going to be our issue. One Chinese quotation said the road to development is road. So the fact that we will be there and encourage development. For instance, right now, people are having issue of committing. Somebody's going to make their cassava their fufu. But then they have issue of getting the kind of money they get because of even transport is an issue. Imagine if they have access to the market, and that's going to be our issue. And that's the reason we're going to have the kind of conversation we are having right now to make sure we have it both in and outside government. Victor talked about, he commended me and he talked about the issue of the price. Yeah, Victor, we come to the table with different kind of experiences. Like I say, I came from the quality industrial sector. I work with Firestone as a later quality tactician here. I work with Cimeco as an elemental analysis with LPRC as a quality here. So the issue that has to do with quality is my concern. And it ranges from the environment straight to produce. So we're going to play our part and play the tango. We are at a point where we can make decisions for the country. Here we are talk about the appearance. He talking about my appearance. He's glad about it, and he's honored that I have to talk about the exploitation of our natural resources. Yeah. You go to America, they do not have oil mine. But right now, research shows that America has a higher oil reserve. You know why? Because they take these things around, they carry the reserve. And why? Because they got the interest for America, but the American is huge. Until we can create that law for Liberia, things will never be the same. So some of us want to bring that. We want to bring our expertise to that. Why is it that you have fires in the country for that number of years, but we're not making products out of them? Right now, one of the sectors that I'm going to focus on and keep bringing when we return is the oil and gas industry. I'm a hydrocarbon quality expert. We have all the oil blood to talk about. It have not started. Is the government not thinking about opening STEM program and send Liberia? Why would you have a student graduating with honor for the very university and government let them go? Send those people to have an expertise in the area. Go to every high school every year. Take the top students, send them. Right now, we should start training Liberians into the oil and gas sector so that when we start giving our oil blood, we can compare the company to employ our citizens. Because you got a Liberianization policy of the concession, but then the company will ask you, who are your Liberians that have the expertise? At the end of the day, you're going to bring forward, can we start training? Those are some of the arguments some are going to start making. That's one. Two, I'm not going to sit in our hair as a hair on the Committee on Science and Technology. Any concession is signed in this country with Liberia, and value addition is not given. For instance, do you know that the byproduct of hydrocarbon is the one you call coal tar? So if we're giving our oil black in our agreement, some of us see to it is ensuring that processing must be done here, even not 100%. Because we want a byproduct of petrochemicals can be used. All the foam party plastics you have, the bags, they are all petrochemicals. So we're going to bring our expertise to the table and we'll call our friends to stand by. We just need to talk about the walk around quarter. It's going to start here, or we are arguing that it should start from here because it's our thing. So that when people see this in the generation that we come, sociology believe that every generation that come after the other will be more sophisticated. If not, then your generation fail. So that the people know that impunity is not a good thing. Ben is asking Voice of America to continue to bring their lawmakers to the studio. Oh, yeah, and that's the reason some of us are here. I did not pay a dime to be here today, to tell you that they got love and they want to implement that. And all we need to do is to support them. Even when we're not coming to the station, we hope that we can make some regular support so to keep them on too. And the government, to the issue of electricity, these are things where you see some of the money these businesses spend just on fuel to run. It's an issue why they are not staying on the town estate. Prince Boto, he said whatever we're saying here in the Liberian English is of law. Prince, I can understand. Many a time I tell people when a generation is continuing to be lied to, even when the real truth kind of never see it, almost like the story of the monkey. If you put $1 million US down here and put a single banana, the monkey will go for the banana. Not because the monkey is stupid, but the monkey gets used to banana. He does not know that $1 million will buy him banana until he dies. And the reason is because the way we were treated. I'm going to say I'm a victim of knowledge like you, Prince. But one of the things I can tell you here is you, some of us, who are young people coming to the level to build your hope. But sometimes, too, that the studio gets said here to the citizens themselves must play their role. For instance, look at the way, the last time research was done, how many dollar people spent to win election in this country. So if the men to spend a number of money, that will be a representative. For instance, right now, I want to do who announced my salary in the district. My current money that I receive net from the bank is $6,500 US. On the paper, it's $8,810 US. That's what they pay lawmaker representative, that's what I know. But when they take out taxes, $6,500 comes to me. That's what I make every month net. So think about it.
Not 10,000 United States dollars again?
Now what?
It's
Yeah,
not
it was
10,000.
prior to that. It was that. Now the information that someone all got, it was between 13 to 14. When you take out taxes, you receive 10 net. But when Darrell didn't came within know the harmonization, it carried it down to 8,800. When you take out taxes, it go to 6,000. So right now, lawmaker is thinking says that I'm a living witness to that, and I'm not fear to announce that because we are public servant. Pastor Diz, you thank me. You talk about the asset recovery. What do I think about it? I think that the asset recovery, when constituted with the mind of doing the right thing, is a good thing because all our country are surviving from these things. But the way it is done on our side of our country, where people employ politics, people employ nepotism, people employ sentiment, is the one killing us. And I think that is an issue that we have. Josiah Taylor commended me, and he want to visit, and he want us to do the issue. Josiah, you're welcome. My office is at the Capitol building. I normally tell people that come there and book an appointment, the staff are there and they're going to. If I'm one of the lawmakers, that's why I'm being here now in Bombing, who employ people in my office on the basis of clan representation. The 11 clans in my district, each clan sent one person. I did not employ none of the person in my office, but they were represented by the clan that had them.
You are entitled to 15 or 16 staff.
Yeah, so the 11 clans sent 11 persons, then the general leadership of the district sent the remaining persons. And that's how I got my 16-person employee in my office. So those are the concerns that I've done so far.
You said processing should be done in Liberia. Do we have the institution for that chemically?
because of that, the process of drilling there is more costly than what they want. So they want to know what the country can offer.
Give a practical or a graphic picture from your knowledge. During the regime of former President Sirleaf, we heard oil blocks, and we heard this block was sold to this company, this block was sold to that company. How is it?
So normally, yeah, how is them for eating the famous 13 food thing, but they are in the basin that is the river, River Gito, the Grand Basin, that is a territory you have them. Now, what happens is the country is in the region that you talk about. You had the north, the south, and that. So you would do your counting on the basis of the number that you want to give based on the way the map shifts. If you look at the way the map lays, those types of the country that you see there, they are sloping on the side. So when you start counting from the upstream, then you start doing the 1, 2, 3, 4. But then you go to count it on the basis of what the data is showing in terms of the crude deposit. The numbers that come out in terms of the neutrality and in terms of main activity, or is it because somebody is drilling from places that selling on Nigeria that causing that flow, then the number will change. Because the higher the number it means, it tell you the natural, the lower the number it means the secondary it is. So when you put the number to them, and based on the boundary you give them, that's how you give it to people. So when you're talking about practical sense in terms of plot 13, plot day, yeah, but Sharon. So Liberia, right after the war, early Johnson, we weren't really involved with these things of natural oil and other things. We heard about iron ore in bombing here and other things. So people who had the information, and like you just saying, because we are now verging to technology, they took advantage of the society and people managing the thing and gave them the wrong information. Then one of the stories you had, a particular company bought a block for 10 million, but when they sold it for almost 100 million, because they knew what was there. They know they got the information. And like you normally that we're all saying here, when you have a head of state or you have heads of an entity in the country who want to see that, they don't want to consult technicians. And everything will be done by the politician, it becomes a problem.
So this oil block or oil discovery, oil exploration stuff was purely, over the years, political and not technical.
And my friend, that's it. You got it right. Mr. Ed come and think that I'm closer to the power that be, and I went for some kind of coffee in Dubai. I saw a friend who said, "Mama, which country are you from?" He said, "I'm from West Africa." "Which part of Africa?" And the man go and look at it. They say, "Oh, we've done some studies over there. Oh, what you go the days why you have." Okay, my friend. He know that it costs $10, but he's going to make it appear to him a thing called $5. But wow, they'll get $6. And this is going to be yours. Go and convince your government.
So Liberia has not been profiting.
No.
Always at the disadvantage end.
Even right now, the one that we even used to call iron ore, gold, diamond, we're not really profiting, my friend. It was shocking to know that the metal city, the people were being given tax free to the extent that it's going to almost 5, 8, 9, 10 years they have not paid taxes. How can you treat a country like that? Only because somebody came to you and told you that I'm not making profit. Where in the world have you seen a business person invest $10? After 5 years, they came to you, I did not make profit, now I want to invest $50. Is it possible? No. A business person money is to maximize profit.
So we've got oil on the...
In commercial quantity, I can say that for 5.
Commercial quantity?
Yeah. Just on the basis of data report, seismic data reporting. The last seismic data that was produced from Liberia, and in fact, that was what the last head on local used some of that money to say they were building headquarters. Because the seismic data was so far almost around $4 to $5 million. So
before you go, can this government do any exploration relative to that?
Provided if they want to. Because they have procedure to do it. What are the procedure? First, I'll call for the bidding. In fact, companies. Now, the last time I checked, I think in the down minute of George Weah's former president Weah government, Sharon was giving their final letter. One of our final letters says that we agree for you to come and start testing. Because the issue of drilling oil is not you just come and start. There are processes that lead start from in the limit, in the observation, the identification. What process will you use to do it? When you identify all that things and see the commercial value, then you come back and tell it, but yeah, I saw this in this one, I want to pay this, and I want to start my exploration at this point.
Thank you ever so much for coming in, Representative Sam P. Jala. You are very resourceful. We will need you as time passes by. We need such a person to provide so much understanding technically like this to the public. Thank you ever so much for accepting Voice of Liberia invite to come and share your opinion. We appreciate it, sir.
I'm humble. My doors are open as always. The good thing about one of your stars, my former student, you can always reach to me, and I will be happy to contribute. Like I said from the onset, these are things we should all, as policy and lawmaker, continue to contribute, more especially if it's Liberian because that's the only way you're going to survive. Now, you saw the number of people that called. Now, the viewer, there are some of the things they did not know. They know it because of this kind of interaction. So, I want to say thank you. I'm humbled. Swan Mecca, I'm on my way to you. I'm going to be with you for 1 week. Thanks to the people at District Number 3.
You're carrying enough money, eh?
that is only you get. That is only you get. Never leave.
Where is it?
That's tradition.
What is it? The lawmaker, the senator coming.
So you gotta be prepared.
No, one week. Thank you ever so much, sir. We are humbled by your presence. He's Representative Sempi Jalam. He represents District 13, Swameka District, Bombing County. Our guest on the show on Voice of Liberia 104.1 Monrovia, Voice of Liberia 89.7 Kakata Magibi County, Voice of Liberia 90.7, the online radio in which you can follow the show from www.voiceofliberiaradio.com with me, Sam Andrews and Edwin Dra on this 13th day of May 2024. Okay, so we've got just one more item to talk about, and then we are out for today. Just one more event, and then we are out for today. Great discussion. Liberia has brains. This country has brains. We just don't make use. We don't just make use. Don't maximize the kind of knowledge. People like the politicians so much than the technocrats. Okay. So we will try our best to get him in the country. Look at me as if you're going dry.
Give me our contact president.
Yeah. We'll try to get him back on the show to explain some of the things. Okay. So, Dry, you can take it up from there.
So we will be joining our viewer correspondents very shortly, so as they can provide us some understanding about issues occurring, across Liberia. Like I told you, our contact person, who is the branch manager of Voice of Liberia in Kakata, Ramsey Singbe, is on the line now, and he cares to tell us a bit about, a land dispute between a Liberian citizen and one Fulanese that led to the destruction of this Liberian guy properties and all of his mother grave and his mother grave. Let's see whether we can talk to Ramsey at about this time. Ramsey, good evening.
Good evening, Joa. Good evening to Sam. Good evening to the listeners following Voice of Liberia from all over. Like you said, I'm Ramsey Semi Jr. from Magibi County. The issue in question has got to do with a mass destruction. In the first place, before I proceed, what it seems to be, it appears that this is a complete disrespect and overlook for Liberian citizens, and also a slap in the face of the government, as well as, a disrespect to the tradition of our country. Mm-hmm. So this is the issue now. The Fulanese in question, Malians, they are called Idris Jallo and Sulmani Jallo. And the victim is called Kolba Kuke Nyakama Jr. The issue occurred right along the Bomans Road after Sagibomonta, not far away from Kakata, that is before reaching Emonyansi farm. It is about 10-15 minutes to walk away from the main quota that is going to Bomans. So the story is that The Jalos, that was on May 4th, 2024, week before last Saturday. They sent a bus filled with Zocos, and then those guys were accompanied by PSU officers who were armed, about 25 of them. They said they carried a court evasion order to get Koluba from the land. It's 75 acres of land. But then the very day they carried the paper that they consider a court evasion order, was that very day they carried on the destruction. So according to Koluba, the paper they presented to him does not have any signature, either from the judge of the court or clerk of the court, whoever. It was just a mere piece of paper. And by that time, they have already destroyed the entire village. Village had about 6 houses. He was breeding pigs. He had chicken poultry. He had planted robbers. He planted cassavas and other things. And then he buried his mother there 3 years ago. They broke all the houses down. They broke the poultry. And then they started picking the man's coconuts. They broke his mother's grave. According to some of the residents who went around them when it was happening, they used those guys, those guys who were carrying on the eye, used gloves. They broke the grave and broke the casket. What was in the casket, they took it off, and then they put it in the plastic and carried. Where they carried, nobody knows. The man had just left, Koluba had just left that day and was going somewhere else. When he received a call to go by, when he went before the game, people, they said it was a court evasion order. And then that was the destruction to carry on. Now, how did they get there? Before then, Koluba explained that the Jalos bought a land from one of the kings, Picnic King. One of the grandsons sold a land to the Jalo there. And the land they sold is around 250 acres of land. And that land is very adjacent or sharing boundary with the land that Koluba is on. So the king told the Jalos that this land, the land that Koluba is on, is a part of this land. So since you people got connection with the government, all the people, you're trying to drive him from the land. And then you can be able to get him, get the land, sell the land to you people.
Okay.
And so, yes, and so that is how the Jalo do now. Now acting smart or now following procedure, they went and started fighting Koluba because by right, the land originally belongs to Ellis Chicks. But Koluba wrongfully bought the land from George Davis. And George Davis surveyor gave him a wrong land to John Duma. So he later got to know that the land belonged to Ellis Chicks, and Ellis Chicks and he met. They discussed and they agreed that he will re-buy the land from Ellis Chicks, the real owner who got the original deed that is notarized and every other document with him. So they have been going through that conversation. But the Fulanis are saying that particular portion of the land where Koluba is, there are some other important things there that they want. So he must leave the land. From Koluba, what we understand from Koluba and the locals there, that land have mineral, diamond and other valuable minerals. And so they are saying they want it at all costs. And the Fulanis have been buying land around it. All the land they bought are in dispute. They have nearly 400 acres of land around it. And they said they want that particular portion of the land. So they broke the whole place down. The man has gone by the time. He says he's calling on the government to go to his aid. Then the other part that will interest you concerning this same thing is that they took, after carrying on the destruction, they complained to the Minister of Internal Affairs, Francis Nyuanli, and told him that we bought land in my Gibi and showed the place and described the area, but we want to carry on development. The chiefs there are embarrassing us and bringing country devils because the chief carried country devils and country devils took seize of the place after that destruction.
Which one of the chief you think?
No, the chief, the local chiefs and traditional leaders. You have the clan chief, the general town chief,
Oh,
the
okay.
other traditional leaders, all people there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so they carry country devils to take seize of the matter while they stay doing investigation on why the man's property and mollustum was destroyed. Now, the minister sent Assistant Minister Mark Jabate. He came and ascertained the facts on the ground and realized that the guys are wrong. He told the chiefs, though I'm a Muslim and those guys are Muslim, but they did wrong and we made them to account for what they did. When they went back to tell the Jalo knowing that they did wrong, they started begging the local chiefs here now through the Internal Affairs Ministry. Now, this Assistant Minister who said he was trying to find a way to settle the issue, when he went, the Jalo sent one cow, they sent 25 thousand Liberian dollars and 10 bags of 25 kg rice. The chief told them he presented to the superintendent Liberia-VOL about donkey, who will do the onward submission to us for us to perform our piece of tradition. Then we will call the Jalos to kind of explain why they did what they did. From there, we'll be able to settle the land dispute between them. Why this is happening, the chiefs, it will amaze you to understand that both of them are afraid and they are withdrawing from the matter on grounds that Mark Jabate has been threatening them. He came around and been threatening them that the man is doing investment. They sort of take the country there from the place, but now and they're not doing it. So they should be careful. Some of them will lose their job. And it's possible that people who are flattening, they can have to go to Made and they can be able to make some of them blind or even kill some of them. So a lot of them are afraid. They see their lives and jobs is being threatened. So they're trying to withdraw from the case. And that is the issue on ground in my GBA.
So, Ramsey, are you care to tell us, after the destruction was being carried on by the Fulanis and all of his personal security would attempt to be with the document claiming, an invasion all up from the court. Afterward, what did the guy do as being the victim? What did he do? What did to take the guys to? He took the case to court, or he was just being considered, somebody who don't have any connection with government?
No, he did not do all of, following of matter to court, because they have been having this issue in court before. After the Fulanis bought the land, they went to do investigative survey, and then they have been having this agreement. He and the Fulanis, they said they must get that land at all costs, and the land does not belong to them. Somebody who was selling portion of land to them, food in that land belong to them, so they should let them take him from the land. But the land also belongs to somebody different, who is Ellis Chicks, who I agreed to sell the land to Colbert, because Colbert already carried on some development on the land now. He been there. It's a long time. This is something that they've been dragging from 2014, 2015. It was just recently that the Fulanis now took the law in their hand and went to destroy the man's property, because they said if he can't vacate the land, they will force him to leave the land. The man said the Fulani have been using money in the court system and they've been intimidating him. He even said that when they went to conduct that survey at first, what happened was he carried a deed, presented it, the former senior land surveyor of my Gibi Child Ramadan, trashed it. The next day, the court invited him. The judge was asking him several questions. He said he could not speak because the lawyer was not around. The Fulani lawyer had been Victoria Duncan, who is the current superintendent of my Gibi County.
Oh, Victoria has been the lawyer for the Fulanins.
Yes.
And now she is the superintendent.
Of my Gibi County.
Do you see any good thing coming out of the case, other than intimidating Koluba?
But why you think intimidation will start coming on now? Because now I'm very Koluba, because once the chiefs are being intimidated, and Koluba is saying that he wants the government to come in, because what Koluba is relying on now is that Ellis Chicks should be able to take the kings and the Jalos to court, because he originally owned the land, got all the documents, so that when he win that case, then Koluba will be able to rely on it to take another issue for his property that was destroyed and all the damage that was caused to be paid for by the Jalos.
No, but let Koluba take into consideration that his properties are being destroyed by the Fulanins. He should be the one to initiate the case, and what to legitimize the land will be the court will request who owns the land. There, Koluba will be able to tell the people that.
From what I understand, I communicated with this Koluba man. He said he was following some other legal processes today from Monrovia, and he did not tell me exactly why it was. And he sounded like somebody in a tense place and somebody who was in some serious conversation why it was. So he said he would call me back, we'll talk this evening. So that's why I understand. But this has been a long time thing, and that's exactly why it is. Even other chiefs, former chiefs are saying, elders of the place are saying, send they are threatening those who are currently in leadership. Those people should withdraw from there and leave the case with them. They're going to mobilize and say and organize people. And that place, if the government can handle it right, the government should get ready to always go there for North, because that place will be a very fearful place. And the people there, as I speak to you, the people can go there to bed as early as 6 p.m. and they say they don't come out until 6:30 the next day because the place is fearful. They're living in pandemonium now, as I speak to you.
So since they consider the position of Victoria Duncan, the superintendent, as the lawyer for the Fulanins, but what is he saying, as an authority to seize down the tension?
Well, as an authority to seize down the tension, she used to be the lawyer for this Fulani, and I understand at certain point in time, recent time during the election, I think she withdrew from the case and whatever, but she has been playing her battle. But she's a superintendent, and she's part of the person who's trying to settle the dispute. So we don't know how is that going to be, how justice will be served to qualify and other people. When the Fulani, we understand they got money and they're using it, and they are boasting that they will use money, they will do anything, but they must get that land.
Rense, have you been able to go to the superintendent to ask her for an interview, to talk to her, get the understanding on how the case is being pursued? Ramsey? Oh, Ramsey, yeah, I'm sure there's harmonization there, I'm sure. But we will contact Ramsey in as soon as possible time. But then the whole saga is about, a Fulanins who purchased a land on the Bone Mines Highway, and this land belongs to a Liberian, and the person who is currently occupying the land tried purchasing the land from another person, and it's been said that this land was being sold to a Fulanins, but the person who sold the land told the Fulanins that this 75 acres of land belongs to the land, is attached to the land that we sold to you, and they have been to court, and court proved that the portion of land they're talking about does not belong to the Fulanins, but the Fulanins want the land by all costs because it's been considered or observed that the land has some resources. So the Fulanins want to use, that means to be part of the land, or he can buy the land from whosoever selling the land so he can have that resources possessed. But then a few days ago, they, according to our reporter Ramsey, the Fulanins put together a group of Zogos, guarded by armed PSU officers who escorted the Zogos in the pickup or the car, and they went into that village, and they served the owner of the land, or the owner of the properties on the land, Koluba. Koluba was on his way out when they communicated with him to come urgently. When he arrived, they gave him a document that was not stamped or signed by any court in Liberia that he was being called upon to receive a court invasion order. So when he received the court invasion order, it was not legitimized. So the guys who went there to carry on the destruction were spotted destroying the properties of Koluba. They destroyed rubber, they cut down coconuts, they killed chickens, pigs, and the one that is so disgusting has to do with the destruction of his mother's grave. And according to Ramsey, the guys bust the tomb and hauled up the casket, and the dead body in the casket or whatever thing, they put it in plastic, and where they carried, nobody knows. And up to current, later on, the traditional chiefs around the vicinity, around the area there, that are controlling various towns and villages, brought outside the country devil, and the country devil took a complete seize of the area as we speak. A communication was being forwarded to the Internal Affairs Minister, Francis Newmale, and Newmale will have to send his deputy, Japater, and Japater went there to have the issue under control. But from what we're gathering, Jabater went there earlier and established the fact that the land does not belong to the Fulanins, and tried to talk, to the local chiefs there so as they can put things under control. Later, when Jabater came to Monrovia, he started receiving calls, and he placed a call to the local chiefs there, the paramount chiefs, the clan chiefs, quarter chiefs, that if they play with the case, they will lose their jobs, considering that the Fulanins is carrying on development there. But if the Fulanins is carrying on development, but the land does not belong to the Fulanins, how would the Fulanins carry on development on land that is not belonging to him? And besides, he had gone and seen people occupying the land. People have resided on that land for a number of years. And according to our land rights, you got, people who are reside on the land for a couple of years, they will have some, claim, and portion of that land will be given to them according to, the land right. But then what happens is that The superintendent of Margibi County, Madam Victoria Waluba Duncan, has earlier on been the lawyer for the Fulanins, and now she is the superintendent. But prior to the elections, according to Ramsey Singbe, the manager of Voice of Liberia in Kakata, she resigned from being a part of the case, and now she is the superintendent. Local chiefs have been warned and threatened by their heads, the deputy minister who went there, Jabate. So, and the local chiefs, or former local chiefs are telling the current authority, in that area, that if they can withstand the pressure from their immediate bosses, that has to do with the superintendent, the deputy minister, and all our boss, the minister of Francis Numale, let them give, way to them, so they, as former leaders and elders of that community can take charge. And if they are taking charge, that means they will put out the country devils, and the country devils will be outside, and the attention of national government will be drawn to the issue, since the internal affairs deputy minister would not go there and handle the situation, but rather to be intimidating the community dwellers and the local chiefs there. They will continue to mount pressures there with country devils, and people there are currently living in fear. So this is not a good call coming from Margibi County. The Minister of Internal Affairs, Francis Numale, will have to do the needful. And if they let's forget about people influencing everything with finance. The Fulanese, if this land does not belong to the Fulanese, as our reporter has reported, then let the needful be done. Whoever deserves taking the land, let it take the land. Whoever got the land should be given to the president. Our reporter has earlier on said the land does not belong to the Fulanese, and Koluba is, the president who has resigned on the land for a couple of years, has properties on the land, and the land belongs to another president. But the president has earlier on gone in negotiation to sell the land to Koluba. And Koluba got a lot of properties on the land. So the Fulanese who purchased the land adjacent this 75 acres of land is now claiming that this 75 acres of land belongs to him. This is not a good call. The Internal Affairs Minister, Francis Numale, will have to go there and see how best they can to address the situation before it goes off hands. People there living in threat, in fear. They are no longer doing their regular and normal hustle. And it's not a good call. The government we promise the people should not be the government of fear to the people. So Francis Numale will have to go there as a minister, or whoever he will send as a deputy to seize down the tension over there, so that the people in Margibi there can live peacefully and everything will go smoothly in Margibi County. So thank you, Ramsey Singbe. We're trying to contact our Bone County correspondent, Alfred Wiki. We are following a development in Totota, shortly to benefit a university called the Lutheran University of Liberia, to accommodate students desirous of achieving higher education. And this university will be one of the universities under the Lutheran Church in Liberia school system, LCL. Let's go to the line and talk to Alfred Wiki. Alfred Wiki will tell us more about this development. Alfred, good evening.
Good evening, Melvin. Good afternoon, Melvin. Good afternoon to all those following this wonderful time. It's a pleasure to be on your show this time.
Bring us up to speed with regards to the university. The people will shortly benefit from the LCL in Liberia.
Yeah, the Lutheran University is to shortly open to accommodate students desire of achieving higher education. And according to the Dean of Admission for the Students Affairs, Reverend Brian Pamo said, the National Commissioner on Higher Education has approved that the Lutheran University of Liberia to offer bachelor degrees in 3 colleges. And he named the colleges of Health Sciences, College of Education, and College of Theology as areas of studies that will be at the Lutheran University. And he also said that the College of Health Sciences is in the LUL, Phoebe, and Zoso campuses. There where the College of Health Sciences will be, while the colleges of education and theology is expected to be in Toronto. And they are monitoring all high school graduates to take advantage of this university in pursuing their higher education. And he told us that classes are expected to commence on in September 2024. And since the pronouncement made by the university, there are a lot of young people who have welcomed this idea because Toronto being the second populated cities in Bond County have now access to any university or a standard vocational school. So sometimes when students graduate from high school, you see many of them going to Monrovia to acquire quality education. Some go to Banca, and because of some financial constraint, others will just sit back and will not want to follow education based on the financial constraint. So the Lutheran Church building a university called the Lutheran University of Liberia, it is something that a lot of parents and young people of Toronto, Sarah, even Lower Bond County, they are welcoming it, and it's being welcomed by some authority of the district, seeing it as actually a dream come true, that some of their children will be able to take advantage of it to acquire quality education.
Thank you, Alfred. But let's consider this. The Commission on Higher Learning or Standard Education in Liberia has earlier gave permit to the Lutheran school system to build a university in Totota. Let's understand this. The Lutheran school in Totota has a very big land and a mission in Totota. But would there be an escrow structure created for students attending the university, or they will go about adjusting the high school and you will see people going there because there's not much structures, I know, on the mission there to accommodate people who will attend the university?
Yeah, so according to him, he said there are structures that will accommodate students that were enrolled at the institution.
Where?
Where the Toronto Community Clinic, is currently situated called Small TV. It's one of the buildings for the Lutheran Church.
So where are they going to carry the clinic?
As may be aware, the clinic was built by Kafia at the time during election time. And
But that's a public facility, and Lutheran is a private institution, and they run their own affairs. So they're getting rid of the clinic. What harm do you think it will cause the community?
So it's not actually getting rid of the clinic. The building there is for the Lutheran Church in Liberia, and they have been, accommodating the health workers over there to have, them being seated there and paying attention to the health needs of thousands of citizens. But when the building was completed by Honorable Moment during the election time, the health workers started to move to that new building, which they are carrying almost all of the components of that clinic there. Only the maternity, let's say, the delivery center is down currently at the small Phoebe. But according to
But Alfred, you call it small Phoebe. Phoebe is a hospital owned by the Lutherans in Liberia, and calling that clinic small Phoebe, that means it is being owned by Lutheran in Liberia. And the facility built by former Representative Edward Kafia is a public facility. So how will the small fee be considered to be a property or an institution owned by Lutheran move into a public facility?
That community clinic has already been called a total community clinic, but other people refer to it as a small fee because whenever they are emergency...
We're looking at legitimacy.
Hello?
We're looking at legitimacy.
Yeah, it is not for the Lutheran Church in Liberia. That clinic is... the community clinic is a public clinic, but they have been, using that facility on ground that, after the Liberian Civil War, they were unable to build a clinic into that. And since then, it was Elwan Omekavia who was the first representative of District 5 who built that clinic over there, and it will be going to the building. So that facility will be like empty, and it will be one of those facilities that the Lutheran Church will be using for the university and other facilities that are on the Lutheran compound. So according to Mr. Brown Pamo, there are a lot of facilities, and this is why they are starting with the College of Theology and the College of Education so that they can accommodate students that will enroll at that facility. In time to come, there will be expansions of additional buildings, then they will have to bring other colleges. But for now, they will be offering bachelor's degree in the College of Geology and the College of Education because of the facilities that currently they are maintaining on the Luchin compound.
Thank you, Afra Wiki. Thank you. That's all the time we got on the show this evening, and we hope to talk to you another time with another interesting development from Bone County.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be on the show this wonderful time.
Thank you, thank you. So Alfred is our correspondent there in Bone County who just filled us in and want to say thanks to all of you who've been listening to Bit and Pieces on Voice Liberia. God willing, we will be here again on tomorrow. My name is Edwin Melvin Jua and been here with Sam Andrews. Good day.
Don't trouble nothing too much, you know.